Kane. I am Randy Rainwater from the capital city. And I must say, Rick, I thought Drive Time Sports was really, really special until this gentleman burst my bubble. But that's okay.
Who's that?
We have in studio. He's on his way towards Camden for a very, very special project.
Great.
And let's see, that is on that one. His name is One Quinn Grovey, thanks to the DHR group of Sonic Drive-Ins. And he burst my bubble, Rick. I'm thinking
he came to the studio. That's great.
Yeah,
I thought he might.
Yeah, well, no, I'm
We're
thinking,
honored.
Oh man,
Honored.
I mean,
It's an honor and a privilege.
Each and every week, we're going to have Quinn right here in the studio.
No, you're not.
And then he corrected
Speak
that
it
real
into
quick.
existence. Speak it into existence, Randy.
He's not going to do that. But he was there today.
We'll pay your mileage,
time, right?
hotel,
I got
and by
you.
we I mean acreage. Yeah, that's how we'll get you down here.
Yeah,
But
that would help.
But you're on a tour right now.
that would help.
That would help. Okay,
Yeah,
good to know.
yeah,
Noted.
that would
Now, you do
Writing
have a
that down.
special purpose.
Yes.
You are headed to Camden,
I am.
and you are doing one fantastic documentary.
Yep.
So this is the executive director. Do you carry
That's
around that little
right.
thing and go,
Yeah.
action?
Well, I got somebody that does that.
He's past that, Randy.
Yeah, I got.
He's well above
Well,
that.
you can tell I'm in radio.
He's got the star behind him now on his nice little director
Yeah.
chair. Yes.
Yeah. But I'm excited about it, man. We've got a documentary we're producing, and there's a great family in Camden, Richard, Vicky, and Price Robertson. And so the documentary we're doing is called The Price of Love, and it's Price was diagnosed with autism when he was born, and the doctors gave the family information and news that would not make any family be really, really happy about the prognosis. And so Richard and Vicky decided to find a program that was going to help their kid come out of it. And he's come out of it, and now he's in Camden. He's a on-air talent on the radio.
That's
and
awesome.
he's doing a lot of great things and speaking in big, strong voice. I love it. So, I mean, for a guy who played quarterback at the University of Arkansas and has done some things here, but to have two documentaries, Growing Up Grovey and then now The Price of Love, I'm excited about it. And I can't thank Richard and Vicky and Price enough for allowing me to be able and be comfortable enough for allowing us to tell a story.
What about this kind of turn you've made in your career, where you've gone from being the star on the field to now you are on the microphone, lead broadcast with the radio, going from the field to the box, and now you're getting in the production side of things. I mean, do you just keep finding new ways to get creative? I mean, is it the creativity that drives you in these type of things? And obviously the storytelling is great too.
Yeah. So it's crazy, man. When I think about it, it's like, I love telling stories. And like, when I watch documentaries, I'm thinking, man, if they'd have done that, or if they'd have done that, it would have like touched a lot of different people. So, but I'm sure people are looking at our documentaries and going, if they'd have done that, that would touch a lot of people. So I love the storytelling aspect of it. And I love when families trust us to tell their story in the right way. I mean, we want to be able to do that, help families be able to get the story out. And this is another one. I mean, this is a great one. I mean, when you see what this family did to make sure that Price was able to, I mean, basically, as they would say, come into our life versus the life he was in, it's a big deal. And so we're excited about it. So we got the premiere down in Camden, and we'll have Danielle Musselman down there. She's going to be the MC. Pat Bradley, who's a 103.7 alum, he was the narrator. So I think Pat is going to try to get back, but we've got some Arkansas athletes coming. We've got some former student athletes there. So Camden is going to be buzzing like crazy on Saturday, and it should be a fun time.
That is awesome. Go ahead, Rick. I'm sorry.
And where, Quinn, are you going to come up? You obviously had somebody tip you on this idea. Where are you going to come up with more ideas as you think about future documentaries?
See, Rick, I love that question, because I believe regionally there are a lot of stories to be told. ESPN, Fox, all those HBO, they're going to do those big, high-profile stories. But I do believe there are a lot of stories from a regional aspect that are simply fantastic that people need to know about. And so I'm excited about telling those stories. So if ESPN and Fox is going to give us low-hanging fruit, we're going to take it, and we're going to tell those stories, and we're going to tell them in a good way because we got a great crew. Now, we got a small crew. Our crew is small. Now, we ain't like Lionsgate or anything like that, but we got great people who can tell great stories, and I trust the guys that I have working with me. And so it's almost like The Replacements. I mean, you're like, yeah, you know the movie The Replacements.
Of course.
You know, I'm gonna bring Keanu Reeves in, and we're gonna get it going.
And you're gonna be ripping a heater, kicking a 50-yard field goal. Yeah, that's how you're gonna finish it off for the win. Yeah, good deal.
That's right.
That's it. That's it. That's how you roll. I love it.
So Quinn, everybody thinks of you as this great quarterback at Arkansas, and yet it sounds like you're looking for stories that may not necessarily be sports stories.
Well, we're looking for all stories, Rick. I mean, we're looking for stories that's going to resonate with people, and that's the biggest thing for us. And I love storytelling. I really do. But y'all know I got other aspirations. I would love to be an athletic director on college level. So that's one thing that's going to take place one day soon. But until that happens, I'll continue to tell stories and
watch out, Hunter.
No. See, well, let me rephrase let me rephrase that.
You caught that dude, didn't you, Randy?
Let me rephrase that. We have a great athletic director. I'm looking to go be an athletic director somewhere else. So just understand that. So I'm not. Yeah, I ain't getting down with all that. No way.
All right, working in the Razorback Foundation, are you learning everything you can about NIL if you want to be an athletic director somewhere?
I'm gonna tell you right now, that's a ever-changing landscape, and college athletics is moving. And if you cannot handle that, then you don't even need to think about getting in college administration. But yeah, I'm learning a lot. I see how Hunter handles a lot of things, and so I'm looking for an opportunity one day. And if I get that opportunity somewhere, that'll be great.
All right, you have one more. It's not really a project. It's already had its showing, but on Hogs Plus.
Yeah, that's right.
You've got one more. Is this kind of like the swan song on Hog Plus?
Well, we got Growing Up Grovey that's on Hogs Plus, and I really think I thank Bo and the people at Sport and Story for putting it on Hogs Plus. We've already shown episode 1. 2 Thursdays ago. We showed episode 2 last Thursday, and then episode 3 is coming out on Thursday. And so that is the last one, and that one focuses in on me being the caregiver for my mom and her battle with Alzheimer's and dementia. And it's one of those that is very difficult for me to watch because if you want to tell a story, you got to be very transparent.
Sure.
And we try to be transparent. And you'll see me cry in the actual documentary, but what we want to do also is not only tell my story, but also be able to help people who may be like, mom is not acting right or dad is not acting right, and be able to give them a mindset of what they need to do as they move forward. So we're gonna have Lindsay. Who's battling it right now with Jim. And then we're going to have Betsy Broyles, who is Coach Broyles' daughter, who runs the Broyles Foundation. We're going to have her on. But the very first episode, we had Bobby Bones on, who was on our post show. Justin Moore was on our second show. And so it's going to be a good thing. But the big thing I want to do is be able to help people. Because when my mom was acting funny, I didn't know what to do. I had no clue what to do. And so I was able to kind of work through all that. But when you're dealing with Alzheimer's and dementia, you want to know. And so that's why I say that playbook that Coach Broyles created was probably the biggest tool that I had that allowed me to be able to help and take care of my mother in a better way. And I'm so thankful for that. I'm thankful for the Broyles family for creating that playbook.
All right. So when does Growing Up Grovey, when's the 3rd edition? When does it air?
So the 3rd episode airs Thursday night, 8 p.m. on
All right.
Hogs Plus. And then so the Price of Love, we're doing the premiere on Saturday, but it's going to air in the second or third week in September on the Cox Cable channel on their Yearview channel.
Very good. Very
A
good.
lot of productions in the pipeline for you right now, man. That's
We're excited,
exciting.
man. We're excited.
And then the season, of course.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hey,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
right.
and then that part of your
That's
job.
right.
Yes.
That's why you got to get it all done before September.
When do you start your prep for that?
I've already started.
I've
I've already started.
He showed me his cards in front of
I got
him.
Western Carolina right there. I mean, so I've got. I mean, I start the process now. Now I haven't done everything from like highlighting who the starters are and all that kind of stuff. But I just want to start getting myself familiar with names and all that. Then I'll start going back and watching film. So this week is film week, and so I'll watch film on Tuesday and Wednesday, and get ready for the Western Carolina Catamounts.
I don't know much about them, other than the fact that I listened to a FCS podcast the other day getting ready for UCA's football season.
Yeah.
And a couple of the guys on the podcast mentioned Western Carolina as being a team at FCS level, especially playoff team, not one to sleep on. And I immediately started going, so I went, of course. Of course they're not.
Fitting.
And I don't know much about them other than that, but I immediately got nervous when I heard it. And that's why I wanted to ask you, hey, so what have you seen on your research on them? Because look, every Razorback fan gets nervous about every game because of the last decade, right? And the decade before that, and the decade before that. So, but optimism is at an all-time high right now because it's right before the season. So hope is running through everybody's veins like an adrenaline rush, right? As we get close to kickoff. So I was just curious if you had any insight in these catamounts that you could share.
Maybe I can share something next Thursday because I hadn't really looked at them, but
just getting the general overview.
Yeah, I'm starting.
Don't scare us till next Thursday. That sounds good. Thanks.
Got it.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Better win the game. Quinn, you weren't on, and neither were you, Chris, yesterday when I told that story about Jack Crow.
Oh yeah.
The day after they lost to Citadel.
I was listening. Yeah.
He was cleaning out his office, and the athletic administrator that was in there with him, as he was cleaning out his office, he turned to him and he said, "I didn't know beating Citadel was that big a deal."
Yeah.
The administrator said it's not. Losing the Citadel is that big a deal.
That's right. That's the
better
problem.
beat Western Carolina. You don't want to go through that stuff again,
Rick.
And I don't think they would, but you don't want that.
Rick, I told Randy when I walked in because I was listening yesterday when y'all were talking about that and we were talking about it with Quinn, and I said I had not heard Trey Biddy be so. Trey was fit
said,
to be tied
oh my gosh,
through the ring.
They should have fired him.
He goes, moron! I mean, just Trey was all angry after that.
I told him that when Quinn came on, he'd tell him Jack Crow was a heck of an offensive coordinator.
Yep,
Was a pretty smart. Hey, it was between being a coach and a doctor, so you can't call him a moron. He was a smart guy.
And what did Trey say? Trey goes, all Quinn, all Roby. He was absolutely livid at that statement. I mean, just hilarious. It's perfect.
Great radio. Oh, by the way, Quinn, since you're looking maybe for your next documentary, this came in by way of our Southern Structural Solutions Buzz text line. This from Alan and Conway. The next documentary will be the 13 original listeners of Drive Time Sports.
Oh, okay. That would be cool too. I think that'd be cool. I mean, y'all are the biggest
originals.
Y'all the biggest caller-driven show in the state, right? I mean, and so that would be awesome. That'd be cool. That'd be cool to find those and just kind of talk about how Drive Time Sports started. But I think our next documentary though, and what we're looking at is a lot of people talk about that 1989 Houston game with Andre Ware and the Heisman Trophy.
That's a good one.
So the thing about it is I have the entire game and it's laced over with the radio call of Paul Ills and Mike Nell. And so like Tom Brady and Charles Woodson did for like 130 for 30 documentary they did on ESPN. We're looking at having me and Andre Ware sit and watch the game and kind of talk about it and have a bunch of follow-up about it and then we'll show the entire game and people can get a huge view of what took place in War Memorial that night. So, but like I say, if you want a in-depth look, you can like go to Growing Up Grovey and take a look at that in episode 2, and there's a deep look at in Hogs Plus. But we're going to do a full one. I think that's going to be a big one for us, and then we've got several other ones that we're looking at. So we're excited about it.
Now, Quinn, as hard as you've been on Andre Ware, what makes you think he's going to sit down with you? You haven't exactly been humble when you talk to him about that game,
right? Well, he hadn't been exactly humble with me either. So everything has all been fun and games with that. And I will say, you know, Andre and I, when we were playing, we probably talked more trash to one another than you can imagine.
Really?
Like the stuff I would say to him, stuff he'd say to me was stuff you couldn't put on radio or TV.
Yeah.
Like you'd be talking to a defensive back or a linebacker, but you're talking to the other quarterback instead. Yeah.
And then so now we're thinking, we're both amped up, ready to go. I'm like, so to be able to do that and so we finally came together after that game in '89 and finally said something pleasant to one another. Like I was just hey man, great game, Andre. I know, hey, go try to win the Heisman. He was like, hey man, I hope y'all win the championship. And those are two things we both wanted to do,
and both happened.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. And he called me like the night before the Cotton Bowl. Hey Quinn, I want to wish you luck. Blah 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 blah. Back then, you didn't have cell phones and all that kind of stuff, and so like you go to the front desk and it's like, message from Andre Ware. I was like,
right. Yeah, right.
That's an effort, though. You had to make an effort back then.
You're right. So I go up to my hotel room in the Lowe's Anatole and hit 8 because you don't want to hit 9. 9 is a local call back then on the hotel phone. I hit 8, and then I'm like, I wonder how I'm gonna pay for this long distance call right here. NIL.
What a foreign statement these days. I mean, imagine telling anyone under the age of 20 that statement. They look at you like your head's on backwards. Oh my god!
Yeah, I made that call, and Andre was like, he was really great. And I'm in my hotel at the Anatole, and thinking he's like, I hope y'all win it, and he's getting ready to go win a Heisman. So. It all worked out, but we still talk, and it's a good thing. So it should be a great documentary when we do it.
Now, Quinn,
is that a Grovey production or is that a Hog Plus?
No, it's going to be everything I do is going to be a QG4
Good.
Productions.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, some may not remember this in our audience, no matter their age. Well, I shouldn't say that their age. But you made me start to think when we used to make long distance phone calls, you would go with the pocket full of change and you go to a payphone.
Yeah.
And the operator, and 25 cents more. Sylvia is leaving today. She's leaving on the train. The operator says 25 cents more, whatever it is. But that's how we used to make long distance phone calls.
Well, that's back when Superman could change clothes. He can't do that.
Yeah, he'd go in the phone booth for sure.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, we've got Savage. Savage, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive Time Sports.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, Quinn, doing good. Quinn, just wanted to get a little bit of advice from you and pick your brain. We're in the early stages with my mom. She's 75 years old, and we noticed we were showing her family pictures, and it started there. She wasn't recognizing her own grandkids.
Yeah.
Didn't recognize her own parents. And then she was doing stuff around the house that just basic stuff that you do, and she was doing them over and over again.
Yep.
We're in the process of, me and my brother, taking her car keys away.
Yeah.
Some weeks are perfectly fine, and you would not know that there's anything wrong with her. And then you have some weekends, she just has trouble just getting around. Just give me a little bit of advice on that as far as just day-to-day type stuff, and just how do you go about it?
Well, the first thing I would say is if you're concerned about her health and safety when it comes down to driving and doing all that, you definitely want to take the keys away. And when I give advice to people, because I've been through it. And so I'm saying the things I'm saying is because I've been through it and I made mistakes or what have you. And my mom, there was one time where my brother was trying to get my mom to come up to Fayetteville to watch my niece play in a basketball tournament. She was very good in basketball, and And so she was in the early stages, and my mom was like, I'll just drive. I was like, Mom, you don't need to drive. I need to send my brother down there to pick you up. Let's do that. Let's do it. That's going to be a whole lot better than you trying to drive. No, I'm going to drive. And, so I talked with my brothers, and I was just like, look, y'all need to go get her because she is going to, we know we know she's not going to do the right thing. And so at the end of the day,
I appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, Savage. We'll finish this when we come back. How about that?
All right, let's do that.
Rick Schaeffer, Chris Kane. I'm Randy Rainwater with the great one, number 4 in your program, number 1 in your heart. Quinn Grovey, thanks to the DHR group of Sonic Drive-Ins. Drive Time Sports will continue in just one moment.
NFL legend Dan Hampton joins Morning Mayhem each week for a little football talk, courtesy of Metro Towing and Recovery and Central Termite and Pest Control.
I'm Hunter Bell at Bell Chevrolet. We know the best part of being in Arkansas is the people. That's why we believe you're not just customers. You're our friends and family. We're determined to go above and beyond to help make things a little easier. And we put in the hours every day so we can take care of our families and you can take care of yours.
We are here for you, Arkansas. Come help us make it even better at Bale. Shop Bale Chevrolet and BaleChevrolet.com today. Find new roads.
At Edwards Food Giant, they know your family is important, and they also know that your time and convenience is as well. So why not take advantage of their heat and eat items in their deli department? Those famous Edwards Food Giant signature dishes with many of the same entrees and recipes that are served daily in the hot bar, all ready to take home and serve to your family tonight. And it can all be found at your favorite Central Arkansas Edwards Food Giant deli. This week's special is Edwards Signature Meatloaf for only $7.49 per pound, with twice-baked potatoes for just $4.99 per pound.
Chosen as one of Arkansas's best places to work 8 years in a row, Rainwater, Holt & Sexton is hiring premier paralegals and legal assistants at all locations: Little Rock, Conway, Hot Springs, Bryant, Jacksonville, and Springdale. Rainwater, Holt & Sexton's mission is to compassionately represent injured and disabled Arkansans. With generous benefits and competitive pay, Rainwater, Holt & Sexton is a destination employer hiring the best. Apply today at callrainwater.com.
If you haven't stopped by Arch Marine lately, you are literally missing the boat. And no boat is complete without a Tohatsu motor. Arch Marine in North Little Rock has them ranging from 3.5 to 140 horsepower. That's Arch Marine in North Little Rock. Take the Levy exit.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics. Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Gary Elmore in Lone Oak, Justin Stewart in Malvern, or Drew Self in Hot Springs.
Every day, we do one thing, and we do it at the highest level. We formed Arkansas Urology more than 25 years ago. And ever since, our world-class team has gained experience and expertise in every aspect of urology. Today, you'll find our state-of-the-art facilities across Arkansas, where the latest technologies are used in innovative ways by skilled specialists who are dedicated to one thing: improving lives every day. Schedule your appointment at arkansasurology.com.
Join Morning Mayhem at the Butcher Shop for the Big Day Breakfast, benefiting Youth Home. From 7 to 9 a.m., be treated to Little Rock's best steak and eggs, along with biscuits, juice, milk, and coffee, all for $15.
Now back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish Studios. Eat My Catfish, now back open in Little Rock in the Riverdale Shopping Center next to Ace Hardware. Eat fresh, eat local, Eat My Catfish. For peace of mind, share with us a piece of your heart. This is Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network.
We talk about athletes all the time needing to hydrate. We talk about those guys or ladies who work outside needing to hydrate. If you're going to be out there mowing your grass, I don't care if you've got the best equipment, you need to hydrate. And Mickey Hendard, by the way, has the best line of residential and commercial mowers both gasoline, diesel engines, and I have moved, by the way, into the battery-powered Greenworks mower, and it's a push mower. So if I get outside right now, I'm going to hydrate. I'm going to drink quite a bit because I don't want to take any chances. But when you get back to the Kubota line of residential and commercial mowers, or whether the Spartan mowers, which, oh, by the way, are manufactured in Batesville, and then they've got the world famous Bobcat zero turn mowers. They got them all. They got the right equipment to fit the right application and all the other tools that go along with it if you want to maintain that beautiful lawn. And financing is available with approved credit, just like everything else at Hennard Foothills Equipment. They service what they sell, and they have an unmatched reputation for service after the sale. Call 501-268-1987. That's 501-268-1987. Better yet, go to 1920 South Main Street in Searcy. That is Hennard Foothills Equipment, your hometown dealer, no matter where you live. Thanks again to the DHR group of Sonic Drive-Ins. They are giving us the opportunity. Again, it's football season, and soon we'll be saying, well, hopefully a few months away, we'll be talking with Matt Zimmerman in this same role. But I did not realize that we had such a I'm just amazed at all the different hats Quinn is now wearing. And Savage did call in with a relevant question there. And Quinn, I know we had to cut you off right before we had to go to the break.
Right. Well, yeah, and I think it's important. And I know Savage, and I hear him on your show, and he adds a lot of value to your show with his sports takes. And I love the fact that he's called in and talked about this because it's real. I mean, sports is one thing, but when it's a loved one, it's a completely different thing that really engulfs you. And so he talked about the fact when is the time really to take away the keys. And like for me, like I said, I only talk about things that I had to deal with. And I don't want to give anybody any kind of advice on something that I hadn't had to deal with. And I was getting ready to tell a story about my mom and how she was coming to watch our niece play. And I was like, don't do it because she's not going to function correctly driving. She can still drive, but she does not need to be driving. And so we let her drive. And she left at like 5 o'clock that afternoon. She should be there by 8. She's not in Shawnee, Oklahoma by 8. She's not in Shawnee, Oklahoma by 11. She's not in Shawnee, Oklahoma by 1 a.m. And we're up going, where in the heck is our mom? And so we're very fortunate that at 6 o'clock in the morning, my brother was going to drive all the way to Duncan to kind of see where she was at, which was, I mean, that's a whole lot of stuff that's taking place between then, But my mom my brother hit a stop sign in Shawnee, Oklahoma, and saw my mom's car following a truck. And so he jumped in behind and was able to get my mom and stopped her. But you never know how that's going to end up. You never know. So, Savage, the thing I would say is it's the toughest thing that you can possibly do is start really regulating what your parents do because they were here to tell you what to do. And then now there's a flip and there's a switch sometimes when things happen where you have to help them work through some things. So, taking away the keys is a big thing. They will not understand when you say you're taking away their keys and why you're taking away their keys. The ultimate thing is not allowing them to drive on their own. And so figuring that out, I don't care if you have to hide them, whatever it is, it's really not about getting it across to your loved one that they can't drive anymore. It's really about finding every way you can to keep them safe with the situation you're in. So it's a difficult phase. That's a phase that will pass, and then you'll move on to the next phase. But You do not want them in a situation where my mom was following some truck and we don't even know what the heck. We're happy she got to Shawnee, but when she's leaving at 5 o'clock on an afternoon and we don't find her until 6 in the morning,
my goodness,
that is a problem.
Oh my goodness.
And so you worry about that. And then we finally got her, and they came up to Fayetteville and we watched my niece play. And my mom was just exhausted. I mean, she was sitting in the stands at the basketball game and just sleep. And so there's so many things. So I would say forget it all. It's going to be some tough decisions you have to make, but just understand you're doing it for the right reasons.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's talk with Eugene. Eugene, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive Time Sports. Eugene once, Eugene twice, Eugene 3 times. Okay, sorry about that. All right, Quinn, let's turn a little bit of attention towards this, not Western Carolina, but towards the football team.
That's right.
Now,
That's what people want to hear anyway.
Have you had a chance to see them actually practice or maybe scrimmage?
I have, and I spent time with the coaches, talking with the coaches, as well as some of the players. There's a quiet confidence on this football team. I mean, like, different than what I've seen in the past. And, you see Sam and he's talking about things and he's kind of got this little smirk. Like, I got some players that y'all probably really don't know about or that y'all haven't seen. And I think the transfer portal has been very, very good for Sam. But
you think you'll be able to say that a lot moving forward? The transfer
that?
portal every year. I got a lot of players you haven't seen before. I mean, what, 34 this year coming in? I feel like that's going to be the new regular saying is you guys are going to have all these secrets now because of the fact that every year just seems like it's a revolving door in so many of these programs.
And that's what it is. I mean, and that's just the landscape. And I think a program like the University of Arkansas will benefit from the transfer portal in a big way. And Sam's done a great job with it. And, his first 3 years here, now his 4th year. The University of Arkansas is a SEC program that can benefit from the transfer portal, and it has. And so I think that this is probably the best year that Sam is really cooped from the transfer portal. I mean, defense, and when I look at it, defensively is really where I'm saying, because I think that the defense is going to be a whole lot better than what most people think. I think when you look at that defensive front and you talk about the defensive line, I think you really do have 2 deep. It took a while to get there, but I do believe you have guys that can play on the 2 deep. The biggest thing about that 2 deep on the defensive front is from your first team and your second team, what is the drop-off?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you bring in a second teamer that is not competing and fighting and is not as good as that first teamer, that's when that 70-yard touchdown happens on that draw. And so what I like about it is when you talk about a 2 deep, to me, that means that you got 8 guys competing. Like, if I'm the starter, I don't want to go out because I know this guy's going to come in and make plays. And when you have that kind of environment, that's a big thing. And I think you have that environment right now. So I think we're moving in the right direction on the 2 deep. I think we got some linebackers that are very athletic. I think we got linebackers that are very physical. And so they'll run and hit. So I think, you lose a Bumper, you lose a Grant Morgan, you lose a Drew Sanders and all that kind of stuff. I think you've got some guys that are very athletic that are going to be it's going to give you a different look at the linebacker position than you've seen in the past. And then I think you've got a multitude of guys that have come in from a secondary standpoint, and I don't know where they're all going to fit yet. I mean, they could be some could be in the nickel, some could be at the corner, some could be at safeties or whatever. But I think you've got athletic guys that have played some football that can help you out. So I do believe that if you're looking at one of the best, one of the units that's going to surprise people, I think it's going to be the defensive unit. I think Travis Williams is a great guy. He relates to him in a big way. And they want to play for this guy. And that means a lot. They believe that he's going to put him in the right position. And so I didn't say anything about the offense because I believe in KJ. I believe in Rocket. I believe he's going to be able to bring KJ's going to be able to bring those receivers along. If we can get great defensive play, KJ's going to take care of business over there. And those 4 running backs that we have are going to take care of business. So to me, the biggest thing is having great productivity on defense, and I think we're going to have that.
I love the statement by Coach Pittman the other day when he was talking. This, I guess, was Saturday. And he actually called him up behind the podium, and he said, "This is a bad man." Have you had an opportunity to watch Trajan Jeffcoat?
Yeah.
Is this a bad man?
Yeah, he's a bad man. And that's one of the guys on our podcast, the Razorback Daily. We were talking about who I thought was going to be able to surprise a lot of people. And then I said, it's not a surprise, but Trajan Jeffcoat has played a lot of football. I mean, at Missouri, he's played a lot of football. But to be able to get him here is going to help us out in a big way. And then you got the big nose tackle from Maryland as well. But I think, yeah, that's right. So
Tank Booker.
Yeah. So I do believe that Jeffcoat is going to be a guy that's going to surprise a lot of people. And so, yeah, I mean, I think you've got a guy that has played a lot of football that is going to absolutely add value to this defensive front.
Oh, he was a couple of years ago, made all SEC.
Yeah, I mean,
Jeffcoat did.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big dude. I mean, he's athletic. He can play. And watching him in practice, I was watching him actually Saturday, this past Saturday in the scrimmage, and that defensive line is very, very limber, athletic. They can do a lot of things, but the biggest thing is they're big. They're big, and that's what you want to see from an SEC front. And I know, 10 years ago it was all about defense and stopping the run and all that kind of stuff. Now you got to do some different things, which means you got to get after the passer, and you've got to be able to deal with teams that are going to run some options, some zone read kind of stuff. I think this defensive front has athletic guys that can get after the quarterback, stop the run, eat up blocks where those linebackers can run and again have another season of 100 tackles. So Jeffcoat is a big one, and for him to come here is huge for us. And I think he'll be one of the best defensive linemen that you'll see on this football team.
Wow. When we get back, I want you to talk about Pooh. I hope he's healthy. I know he's been dealing with a little bit of a knee issue, that MCL.
Yeah.
But I think he's in line to be one of the next great ones at linebacker at the University of Arkansas. All right, we will step away for a moment. Rick Schaeffer, Chris Kane, I'm Randy Rainwater with Quinn Grovey. Thanks to the DHR group of Sonic Drive-Ins. Drive Time Sports will continue.
Wednesdays during the zone presented by the Wooded Rock Athletic Club. Join the Wooded Rock Athletic Club and save 30% off joining fees with no monthly contract. LRAC.com.
Hi, folks. It's Chris Zender here at Frank Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sherwood. Everybody's talking about high prices these days. Gas prices, grocery prices, interest rates. It seems like everything costs more than it used to. But at Fletcher Dodge, we're fighting back against high prices and interest rates. We have employee pricing plus 1.9% on all new Jeep Gladiators and 1.9% on Jeep Compass. And here's the deal of the week. 2.9% financing for 72 months on new Rams. That's 2.9% for 6 years on a new Ram. And we have 2.9% for 72 months plus $4,000 off new Jeep Grand Cherokees. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood for the deal of a lifetime on a new Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Ram. At Fletcher Dodge, you always get the best price, the lowest finance rate, and more for your trade. And we promise you a hassle-free buying experience. So come see us and give us a chance to earn your business. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Come see us in person at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road or shop online at FletcherDeals.com.
Attention, bow hunters. Ready to take your hunting game to the next level? Then set your sights on Max Prairie Wings, featuring the best model bows from Elite, Matthews, Hoyt, and Bear. Max offers all the top-of-the-line bows along with any accessory you need to make your bow even more powerful. And they'll even work with you to build your dream bow exactly the way you want it. Max Prairie Wings, your go-to destination for bow hunting gear. Click on maxpw.com or visit their store in Stuttgart. Max Prairie Wings, where passion meets precision. Happy hunting.
Arkansas is sizzling, and Saracen's Summer of Sports Cars continues to keep the heat on with an iconic Camaro convertible from Guatney Chevrolet. This is the last year for Chevy's classic Camaro, and Saracen Casino is the only place in Arkansas where you can qualify to win one this Saturday night just for playing your favorite games. Only 40 minutes from Little Rock, Saracen is Little Rock's closest place to play.
Saracen Casino Resort, Vegas, Arkansas style.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
This is David Dunn with Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. Do you own or operate Max, Volvos, Freightliners, Kenworths, Peterbilts, or international trucks? We can offer you the same dealership level computer diagnostics with highly trained and professional mechanics without dealership wait times and cost. Whether you're a municipality, fleet, or small business with one truck, come see why our customers have made us the highest rated independent repair shop in Arkansas. Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. Take exit 7 on I-440 or call 568-2185.
Trey Shapp and Chris Shinup with you. Chris, the 19th annual Kickoff to Men's Health is coming up.
Yeah, Trey, we're pretty excited. It's coming up. The first one will be September 7th at our Little Rock location, 1300 Centerview Drive.
Men 40 and older, it's time to get screened, is it not?
It is. And, as our CEO, Scott Davis, says, you come in for a free screen and you might win a 65-inch flat screen TV.
263-0926 for more information or arkansasurology.com. Guys, you can just show up. All thanks to our presenting sponsor, CHI St. Vincent.
Now back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish Studios. Eat My Catfish, now back open in Little Rock in the Riverdale Shopping Center next to Ace Hardware. Eat fresh, eat local, Eat My Catfish. You've got Drive Time Sports locked in on the Buzz Radio Network. Here is Randy Rainwater.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network. Got to tell you, just talking with Steve Lytle, that was at the Touchdown Club yesterday. I passed on some great ideas about air conditioning and this, that, and the other, but when it's this hot, there's just not much you can do right now. Probably rather than walk, I could drive over to the Double B's. That way the hot coffee doesn't get any hotter than what it is by the time I get it back to the house. But the other part of that is you got to go inside to take advantage of all the great specials. I talked about the Little Debbie's the other day, 3 for $2. But it is the water that I want to focus on once again because of the extreme heat that we're dealing with. 30-ounce core water, $2. You'll see this on the marquee at many of the Double B's locations. The special, the 28-ounce Gatorade, 2 for $4.50. But, folks, that's just where it begins. They've got all kinds of drink specials that you can take advantage of right now. The 20-ounce Life Water for just $2.29. And as I said, that's just where it begins. You get the 24-count Crystal Geyser water for just $4.99. Check out all the specials you'll find inside. That's Double B's, where you gas it, grab it, and go. Make it Double B's. Once again, thanks to the DHR group of Sonic Drive-Ins for letting us have Quinn Grovey. Now, maybe not every Wednesday in studio, but we do enjoy having him face-to-face, but we know that's not always going to be the option. Quinn, talk about Pooh Paul.
Yeah.
What I saw last year, particularly when Bumper went down and he got pushed really into full-time service. I think he's got a chance to be a real player.
Oh, no, he's a big-time player, and he's a leader. And, what you saw at the end of the season, I thought that was really telling. He was a guy that you felt comfortable with. When you saw him in the lineup,
sure,
you felt like he was going to make the right decision. And then when he got there, he was going to be able to handle and tackle at a high level.
Finish.
Yeah, and that's what he does. I mean, he'll hit you hard, but he's very good mentally, and he's a leader. He's more of a leader of, just follow me kind of thing. He doesn't talk a whole lot about it, but he's a great leader. And so I'm excited about him at the linebacker position. I think last year was so good for him to be able to see him in the Liberty Bowl, take the reins, then be able to see a guy like Jordan Crook kind of come in with him as well. I think those guys will be very, very good at the linebacker position. But the thing about it is you brought in more athletic guys from the transfer portal, which is good. But Paul by far is the leader of this group. Everybody understands it. Him and KJ are kind of like the alpha dogs for each one of those units. And Paul is big for this defense, and we need him to have a great year
and be healthy.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Well, never mind. Let's try this. Steve, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive Time Sports. You got a question or comment for Quinn?
Yeah, Quinn, I'm thinking back to the 1989 game with Miami. On that play, did the guard and tackle trap the defensive lineman and open the hole for Barry? Because when Barry hit the hole, he was gone.
Yeah. So that was a basic play. It was called 34-5, and that's a very simple aspect that tells a lot of people what to do. But that was a basic option play, and I'm reading the forward technique, which is the defensive tackle, and he decided to kind of go up the field. So the defensive tackle and the defensive end went up the field. So that's my read, and you're allowing Barry Foster, who is a much better, stronger physical athlete than I am, to take the ball. I mean, a lot of times defensive coordinators decide, do we want to crash down and make the quarterback run it? That time they allowed Barry to do it, and they paid for it. And so they both decided to get up the field because maybe they thought I was going to keep the ball or whatever. I made the right read, and Barry Foster made them pay. And that was one of the biggest things that we had that entire day, because I think that gave our team a whole lot of confidence, and our defense was really good. It was laced with Steve Atwater and Wayne Martin and Otis Lloyd and Kerry Crawford and all those guys, and they just went out there and took it to Steve Walsh and Miami.
And do you feel like if y'all would have beat Miami, y'all win the national championship that year?
Well, if we beat Miami, we're playing for a national championship. There's no doubt about it. There's 100%. And the one thing I like about the broadcast, it was Brent.
That's all I got, guys.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, it was Brent Musburger and Pat Hayden on the call, and it was in the fourth quarter, and we're halfway through the fourth quarter, and we're up. We're up 16-15, and they're talking about the steps for us to win a national championship. And I know that was a proud moment for Arkansas fans. We should have finished it. We didn't finish it. We let them off the hook. But, yeah, if we beat Miami, we're probably playing Notre Dame in the Cotton Bowl for a championship. But we ended up playing Troy Aikman.
Not a bad substitute in terms of quarterback.
Didn't worry
I have a quote from the game from the Los Angeles Times, 1988.
Yeah.
Okay. This is Jimmy Johnson. He said, about the only time we were enthusiastic was at the end of the game. I've been screaming and hollering at them all week, telling them that Arkansas is a better team than that 51-7 or 51-7 the previous year, but they just weren't listening to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought that was interesting. He said they came in thinking, oh, we're going to roll them again, and you guys showed up.
Well, the thing about it is we're here in the Rock. I mean, we're in War Memorial Stadium. It's one of the big games. I think they were number 3. We were number
you were 8
or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we were thinking like, okay, let's go. And so they took care. They just absolutely. It was the longest day of my life. And so Coach Hatfield, I love him to death. I love him. And we're at halftime. We're down 38-0. Coach Hatfield is, man, this is going to be the greatest comeback in Arkansas history. I think, our coach. I mean, I was like, I'm looking for the mercy rule. Can y'all just keep the clock rolling?
Run the clock.
Just keep rolling. But, when we got back and saw the way Miami acted from ESPN's, I mean, they had them playing tic-tac-toe on the sideline. They had them with hog hats on the sideline.
Really? Okay.
And it really ticked us off. And we said after that was over with, we won that championship, that Southwest Conference championship. We said we're going to go down to Miami that following year, and we're going to take it to those guys. And we were going to be 10-0 when we got there. And we were 10-0, had a chance, and let them off the hook. And those are the kinds, like, you don't get those opportunities. Like, you get one opportunity for something like that. And that's something, and it just rolls past you like a treadmill, just woo, if you don't do anything about it. And so we missed those opportunities, and I still think about them every single day, but you can't do anything about it because if I got out there right now, I pull a hamstring and a groin at the same time.
Well, you said the word. we took it to them. After the game, Miami guard Mike Sullivan, quote, Arkansas took it to us. They were snorting, they were panting, they were shoving, they were playing the way we should have played. So, yeah, you guys earned their respect for sure.
All right, Q, we're down to less than 2 minutes. Talk about the wide receiving core, what you have seen so far.
Well, I like the receiving core. I do believe that there are a lot of guys out there, like I said, that nobody knows about. I think that KJ has done a nice job of working with them. So if I had to look at somebody right now that I thought was going to be the leading receiver, I'm going to go with Andrew Armstrong. I mean, at 6'4", close to 200 pounds, he's going to be the guy that's going to give you an opportunity to win a lot of battles. He's going to be the guy that can get separation. He catches the ball with his hands, but the thing about it is he can win 50-50 balls. And so when you get in trouble, sometimes you just get, hey, man, I'm just going to give you a chance. Just if you don't catch it, don't let the defense catch it. And so I think Andrew Armstrong would be that guy. I think Tesla would be great. Satania would be the deep threat. But I think where you really need to look at that's going to open this offense up is what happens at tight end. I think Haas and Washington and all those guys, what can you do navigating in the middle of the field? Because Dan wants to run the football, Sam wants to run the football, and so when you go heavy in a scheme where a lot of defenses want to play light, that can be the difference right there with you. But if I had to look on the outside, I think that's where it's going to happen. I think that's where the magic is going to be made, and I think it's going to be Andrew Armstrong.
All right. Well, that hour went rather quickly.
Yeah. It's going to go quickly every Wednesday.
Well,
so good.
I wonder if I can talk him into staying another hour. No, he's
get
got
those sponsors on the phone, Randy.
He's got to get to Camden. All right, Q. Always a pleasure. Quinn Grovey, thanks to the DHR Group of Sonic Drive-Ins. Up next, Trey Biddy of hogsports.com.
You may have noticed spooky season is here. Stores are full of Halloween candy and costumes, and most car dealerships are putting out interest rates that would scare even Michael Myers. It's a different story at Guatney Buick GMC next to Sam's in North Little Rock. Right now, get brand new GMC Sierra as low as 0.9% interest. Plus, while a lot of dealerships are offering row after row of full-size trucks with a 4-cylinder under the hood, Guatney Buick GMC is keeping it real with 6.2 and 5.3 equipped options. Get an additional $3,250 off full-size trucks equipped with the 5.3. Guatney is offering twice the options, twice the power, and twice the cylinders. Buying a new truck doesn't have to be scary, and shopping at Guatney never is. Guatney Buick GMC is offering new Sierras as low as 0.9%, GMC Acadia at 1.9%, $3,250 off qualified trucks equipped with a 5.3 V8. Guatney Buick GMC, Pulaski County's only Buick GMC dealer. GMC, we are professional grade.
Razorback legend Quinn Grovey joins Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaeffer on Drive Time Sports every Wednesday afternoon at 4. Brought to you by the DHR Group of Sonic Drive-Ins.
We're the original social media you don't need a smart device for. But we'll also meet you there, too. 103.7 The Buzz. KABZ, Little Rock. Buzz News with Channel 7's Ryan Houston.
We have an update in Bryant. Police arrested 2 people this morning for a shooting that happened on Laverne Street. 23-year-old Matthew Gibson and 26-year-old Katera Lewis were arrested for shooting a man inside a house yesterday morning. The victim was transported to the hospital but died from his injuries. Gibson and Lewis will be held in a detention facility in Houston until they're brought back to Arkansas. A mom is still searching for answers about her daughter who went missing in 2020. 20-year-old Aisha Jackson was on a trip to Houston, Texas with a family member back in 2020, but never came back. Her mom, Laquita Parker, went to the El Dorado Police Department where she says they were no help. El Dorado Captain Gerard Prim tells us that they are still looking for Jackson with the help of multiple law enforcement agencies. So for more news and weather, just download the free KATV News and weather apps. From the Channel 7 Newsroom, I'm Ryan Houston.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
More excessive heat today through Friday, 102 this afternoon. Excessive heat warning for all of the state and a heat index at 110 or greater. Much of the same for Thursday and Friday. Saturday, a high of 100, mid-90s Sunday. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Today's special at Benihana, lunch only hibachi chicken, $14.95, which includes Benihana soup and our famous fried rice. Come see us at lunch.
Join 1037 The Buzz for the Oaklawn Sports Tailgate Party, Saturday, September 2nd. Don't miss the only Little Rock game tailgate party of the year with DJ Kramer mixing it up, free Petty Jean hot dogs, and your favorite Buzz personalities behind Double B's on Markham and Van Buren. The Oaklawn Sports Tailgate Party is brought to you by Double B's, Mosquito Joe, Bud Light, and First Trust Home Loans. Special thanks to Fence World, Arkansas Portable Toilets, City Market, and Arkansas Tent and Special Event Rental. Go to 1037thebuzz.com for your free tickets.
I'm Hunter Bell at Bell Chevrolet. We know the best part of being in Arkansas is the people. That's why we believe you're not just customers. You're our friends and family. We're determined to go above and beyond to help make things a little easier. And we put in the hours every day so we can take care of our families and you can take care of yours.
We are here for you, Arkansas. Come help us make it even better at Bale. Shop Bale Chevrolet and BaleChevrolet.com today. Find new roads.
Hennard Foothills Equipment in Searcy, one of Arkansas's leaders in hay equipment. They handle a full line of Kubota tractors and hay tools, as well as Vermeer hay products. 501-268-1987. Hennard Foothills Equipment in Searcy, your hometown dealer, no matter where you live.
If you're on the job day in and day out, you know living with pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders is miserable. The good news, QC Kinetics gets it. They understand guys like you.
They don't have the luxury of taking time off. They want to keep working. We are built for those guys that want to keep working and want to stay active. So the vast majority of who we see are the blue-collar guys like me and you.
QC Kinetics uses biologic therapies, just like pro athletes have used for years, to get you lasting pain relief with no surgery.
I want you to continue working. I want you to continue exercising. The joints are made to be moved.
The treatments at QC Kinetics are fast and non-invasive.
It's not a lot of time commitment on your part. There is no downtime or recovery time. You don't need short-term disability with what we do. We want to keep you active.
Call QC Kinetics now to set up your free no-obligation consultation. Learn how you can get real pain relief and stay on the job.
Call QC Kinetics, 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440.
At Southern Floor Coating, coatings are all they do, and they won't be beat on price. Factory-trained installers using the purest form of polyurea with UV stability for all your outside projects. When you call, you'll talk with a professional interested in your project, not a voicemail. Don't trust a fly-by-night company that may not be in business next year. Transform your patio, porch, or pool deck and call the real pros at Southern Floor Coating. 501-402-4912 or take a look at southernfloorcoating.com.
Is your cooling system handling summer? Middleton Heat and Air is here to keep your family nice and cool through even the hottest Arkansas summer. We're always ready with in-stock equipment, and you can count on us for free estimates on replacements with no overtime rate from 8 to 8, even on weekends. See why we're the most trusted name for heat and air in the state. Call Middleton today at 501-767-2345.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See Dan Cook in North Little Rock, Steve Fisher in Stuttgart, or Jay Vandover in Little Rock.
Tired of all that laboring? Get ready to take a break from hard work with Lazy Boy's Labor Day sale. Save up to 50% off store-wide. From cozy couches to stylish sectionals, Lazy Boy has everything you need to create the perfect living space and a chair that's all yours. A wide selection of furniture for every room with unbeatable prices. Upgrade your home decor without breaking the bank. Don't miss out on your chance to save big. Visit Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor, Shackelford Galleries of Little Rock today.
Get your tickets now for the Oaklawn Sports Tailgate Party. Saturday, September 2nd, behind Double B's at Markham and Van Buren. We'll have free food and drinks, plus DJ Kramer mixing your favorite party tunes. Go to 1037thebuzz.com for your free tickets.
Live from the Eat My Catfish Studios, it's time for Arkansas's #1 caller-driven sports show. It's Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network with your hosts, Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaeffer. Lock it in and get ready to dial us up. Drive Time Sports is on the air.
Hour number 2 at Drive Time Sports in the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaeffer. Standing by Northwest Arkansas, Chris Kane. I'm Randy Rainwater from the capital city. In a moment, we'll be joined by Trey Biddy of hogsports.com. Being brought to you by Asher Record Service Company. But first, let's talk to Neil Atkinson by way of Saracen. Neil, I've got to tell you, the first thing I always look at, I love looking at the specials, because there is always something unique, something special. But the one I want to focus on just for a moment, and I certainly want you to focus on the golf specials, because this is the final leg of the FedEx Cup Series. This one shifts to Atlanta, and this one is for all the marbles.
Yep, and the thing that we saw is in the Masters this year, all of the prop betting exploded on golf. So it has become more and more popular. And when you get to this type of championships, and you just have golf at the highest level, and there's a lot of opportunity out there. Golf, because it is an individual sport and there's so many stats tied to it, we can do some very, very interesting, very high return type bets with that, because, you can even pick some of the major players, what their exact rounds are going to be and how they're going to finish up. You can even do the lowest tournament round, the wire-to-wire winner, if anybody's going to have a bogey-free round, just about any type of scenario that you can think of. And don't forget, we will also have live betting in the golf, and as they are playing. And we can't wait, because that's going to expand even more next year. So, yeah, that's going to be pretty big this weekend on that. And you got to get those in today, folks, because they tee off tomorrow morning.
That's my point. And this is the 30 best golfers in the world who will be teeing it up. NFL preseason. I'm choking up over talking to you. NFL preseason games coming up this weekend as well.
Yep, and we have week 0 this weekend. Don't forget that. Talking about flash betting, the Notre Dame Navy game is going to be our first Saracen flash bet game. Cannot wait for that. And while I'm talking about flash betting, Ronald Acuna is a career 0-10 versus Quintana tonight with the Braves, Mets at the Braves. So can Acuna collect his first career hit off the veteran lefty? Ronald stands at plus 350 to smack a single in his first plate appearance. That game goes off at 6:20. You have time to get it in. You can flash bet before it starts. And then you can flash bet each swing, each pitch from there on out.
All right. That is BetSaracen.com. Better yet, go get the app at the App Store. That is Bet Saracen. Thank you, Neil. We'll talk with you tomorrow. And with that, let's talk with this gentleman right here.
Now to Trey Biddy, brought to you by Asher Record Service, 501-562-2293. Family owned and operated since 1980. Asher Wrecker, dependable towing and vehicle recovery service. Ask for Asher.
Good afternoon, Trey.
Hey, guys.
I got to admit, after listening to Quinn Grovey, what'd you think, Chris? I'm fired up now.
Oh, well, like I said, optimism is running high. Hope is never stronger than 2 weeks out of the season. And that is exactly what's happening right now. So I know that everybody's obviously looking forward to kickoff, but at least we get week 0 this weekend, Randy. We get
don't get Rick stirred
We get
up.
week 0, Rick.
Don't get Rick stirred up.
Yes.
Okay, let's get to Trey Biddy. Let's get to Trey Biddy.
2 week 0.
Enough of that stuff.
Since I've been on.
There you go. There you go. Hey,
no, get to Trey Biddy.
we were laughing talking with Quinn though, Trey, because your natural reaction yesterday to the Jack Crow story was just so pure and perfect. Quinn got a big kick out of it too, and of course, he's got a lot of respect for Jack and working with him. But your response of nope, all Grovey was just was perfect. He greatly appreciated that. But no, I mean, yeah, Quinn going over the projected some of the starters, and I thought it was interesting too. And Trey, you get to see this, and Quinn was alluding to this. Quinn was saying how just because of the massive amount of transfers in the portal now, he's like, when you see practices and scrimmages as opposed to just hearing about them or reading about them, he goes, there's a lot of untapped secrets up there that you guys are going to be your eyes are going to be open to when the season starts. I mean, is that something you've kind of garnered from what you've seen? Is there's a lot of players that Razorback fans haven't seen that are going to have a big impact?
Oh, sure. I mean, there's a lot of people, especially casual fans, they're going to be going, now who's that? Who's number 2? Who's number 4? Who's 9?
Who's 7?
Yeah, who's 7? Absolutely. I just think that, my hesitation with getting too optimistic about everything, and I'm generally pretty optimistic, is just that I don't know what everybody else is cooking, and I've kind of been on repeat with that, but I just know that rosters are different these days because of the ability to quickly add immediate depth and veteran players through the transfer portal. What I do know is that Arkansas has done that. I mean, they got a good looking squad, and I've said before, you take this team and throw them against a schedule and opponents from just 4 years ago, they're going to come out pretty good. So I'm anxious to say I think they have a chance to be really explosive on offense. You got a guy that coming back. So much of everything boils down to who you have at quarterback. And Arkansas has got one of the best quarterbacks they've ever had. And KJ Jefferson has a chance to set a lot of records this year. And he's got a supporting cast. It's not like there's this glaring hole right here. If they just had this guy, and we'll see how the offensive line shapes up. Obviously, you have to have protection, but if you do have questions about the offensive line, it's probably better to have a guy that can run, So maybe that'll benefit them if there is some issues with the offensive line. What I know about the offensive line is basically they're not as good as the defensive line. I mean, the defensive line is just really, really loaded. And so, yeah, I mean, it just feels like
noticeable in practice
this week. Oh yeah. I mean, you just looking at them going through drills. I mean, it's just, 320 pounds, 320 pounds, 394 pounds, 351 pounds. It's just one dude after another. And I've just never seen it like that before. So my question is, does everybody's defensive line look like this? I doubt it, but I know that everybody can access the portal too.
Trey, I do have a quick question for you from our live fan feedback. This was asked to Quinn, but I think you can answer this too. Do you think Rocket or KJ could be a Heisman finalist this year based on their trajectory and what's shaping up?
Well, if you're a quarterback, you got to win a lot of games. Yeah. I don't think there's any question for KJ to be mentioned. You got to be talking at least 3,000 plus, passing yards, 700 something rushing yards, maybe even more. To get in that conversation, you obviously have to have Heisman moments. That's important too. Big games, big performances, a big moment. So can he be in the conversation? Maybe, yeah. We'll see. But you got to win. I mean, my Heisman votes when it goes to quarterbacks, it goes to guys that win their division at least. And so that's a bbig part of it. With Rocket, you run for 2,000 yards or something, then sure. I mean, anybody can be a candidate doing something like that. But, you need to be on a winning team. I think that's the thing that jumps out, no matter really what position you play, but especially at quarterback.
Hey, Trey, I got a question for you. Not so much football related, but it does have, I guess, a little correlation. Just being around Coach Pittman yesterday and parts of the administration that were down here, and it was before a funeral, and it was a somber day after the passing of Keith Stokes. But compound that with Ryan Mallett's passing, with Alex Collins passing, with Chris Smith's passing. It's been a year of tragedy for the Razorback program, and it did feel like there was a little bit of that hanging over the folks who were in town yesterday. I'm curious if you've noticed anything up there. Are they have they kept enough of a game face, and maybe we got a little bit more of a real feeling yesterday? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. I don't know that it's like had an impact on them, as far as going to work and going through practice and stuff. Those guys are Razorbacks, and most of these guys probably never met Alex Collins, although I'm sure they've been told about him, after everything happened. And Ryan was around the program a little bit more. Deion Stutz would be a guy that probably touched people a lot just because he was a recruit and he'd come up here on visits and stuff, and his family had been up here. That's probably the more, if it's going to impact anybody, probably Stutz. But no, I don't think that it's, caused any kind of issue with preparation or anything like that. But, it's definitely, we're definitely going to see some of that, I think, throughout the season, probably stuff to honor those former players.
All right, Trey, this from our Southern Structural Solutions Buzz text line. This from Neil. He says, ask Trey who's going to be our defensive quarterback. That's my biggest concern for this season. I guess who's going to be calling the signals? Your linebacker typically does that. One of your safeties may have the calls on the back end, but that's the question. Defensive quarterback, who might that be, in your opinion?
Yeah, well, up front, it's going to be Paul, I think. I'm not even sure who the other starter is going to be at linebacker. It's going to be Jaheim Thomas or Antonio Greer. But Paul is going to definitely be a leader for them. In fact, I don't know. I think maybe Friday. Do they vote for captains Friday? It's sometime this week.
Friday. I believe it's Friday, yes.
Yeah, so it wouldn't surprise me, even as a redshirt sophomore, if Paul was one of those guys. On the back end, I'm not sure. Al Walcott's got the personality for it. He's a talker. I said to Marcus Woodson, there's just not many rooms that Al Walcott walks into that he doesn't fit in. He's just that kind of personality. So I could definitely see him taking on that kind of role. Snacks Johnson's not much of a talker at the podium, but when he's out on the field, he's a pretty big talker.
Yeah, you want somebody that's willing to talk. Let's see. This from our Asher Record Service Company live fan feedback. You Betcha Live says, scrap the casino mobsters and give Trey the full segment. Trey's the big segment you have, and to waste part of it with the evil wagering propaganda. I can't wait to see who Trey is ticked off at today.
Do we need to make that a segment? Who's Trey mad at today? And you can just spout off on whoever you want, Trey. It could be a daily gripe segment for you. Just air it all out.
That would be good. Would that be healthy? I think.
I think so. Yeah. Talk about it. Talk about it. That's right.
Yeah, well,
now listen, Mister, don't get carried away.
Well, I will say that, hey, you guys got to pay the bills, and this is 5 o'clock. There's a lot of people that listen to this segment, and you got to have advertisers, and that's a good group to have advertising for you. So it's just part of it. We got commercials. It's not like back in the day, it used to be commercials. You weren't able to even skip a commercial. So it's just a little bit of time. Not that big a deal.
Thank you, Trey, for that. Larry says, Trey, talk more about the O-line. Coach Pittman mentioned this week that our line is thinner than previous years. Why is that? Should we be concerned? Also, Coach Pittman is one of the best O-line coaches in the nation. Why are we getting some of the better O-line recruits? There's a question mark at the end of that. Maybe why are we not getting some of the better O-line recruits?
Yeah, they missed a couple of guys that they were right there with the Westfall kid out from Virginia. Jaquan McCrory, I think, is still a guy to keep an eye on. We see a lot of guys that commit to Oregon, and at some point in their commitment, it's, especially from far away, and Oregon's far from most places, they kind of have second thoughts. And so I would keep an eye on Jaquan McCrory, and he's a big time recruit, but the landscape has changed a little bit. And sometimes a school like, Oregon, that I don't know if you guys saw in donations, Oregon gets more donation money than anybody in the country. So,
from one source.
I started saying it's just one source. Yeah.
Phil Knight. Yeah.
Exactly.
Gee. Yeah.
Well, it totals almost $1 billion in Arkansas, somewhere at what, 350 million.
Come on, step up, Waltons. Let's go.
No.
Yeah.
$1 billion
total Total
That's
donations.
total, yeah.
Pretty close to it.
But he has
990
given
something.
Yeah, Phil Knight has given something like $700 million or 750.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I understand the.
The guy as far as for offensive line though, yeah, go ahead, Rick.
No, the guy at Oklahoma State, the oil man. I'm trying to think of his name. Died.
Yeah.
Pickens. Yeah, he had given
on the stadium.
He'd given $250 million. His estate, I think, is just giving another $250 million to Oklahoma State.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. His name's on that stadium for a reason.
Yeah.
But, you know, the landscape's kind of changed a little bit, and Arkansas throws some around, obviously, too. You know, recruits are asking more and more, hey, you know, what about this NIL money? So, and technically you're not supposed to recruit that way, but
right.
You know, who's stopping anybody? There's no regulation really. So, but, you know, Arkansas has brought in some high regarded recruits, you know, in-state guys. Andrew Chamblee and Marion Harris are both, you know, were both 4-star big name recruits. Patrick Kudus was a 4-star recruit. Luke Brown was a 4-star recruit in this year's class, in this, you know, 2023 class. You know, I think they really like Zuri Madison also and Kobe Brenham, who are committed right now. But, you know, yeah, you would like to see, you know, some Denver Kirklands and some Dan Skippers, some more of those type of guys. And, you know, even Sebastian Tretola wasn't super highly regarded recruit. Devon Manuel might be as talented as anybody on the offensive line. He wasn't a super highly recruited guy. So it's also, you know, there's two ways to do it. You get super highly recruited guys, and you get guys that, you know, that you can mold. Brady Latham is an example of that. He was ranked somewhere in the thousands nationally. But I don't think that I said this before, I don't think this offensive line is as good as the defensive line, but I do think that they have 5 quality guys up front. And, you know, as far as how Pittman has talked about them, typically what they've had to do in the past when they have a player go down, they've shifted things around a lot, you know, moving Brady Latham to left tackle and then moving somebody in to guard. You know, you have to make 2 moves when you have 1 injury. That's how it's pretty much been in the past. They really want to get to a point where they can just move somebody in. If somebody goes down, they just move 1 guy, and instead of having to move 2 and shuffle things around. So that may be why he's kind of talking that way. But you know, they've got some younger offensive linemen that are almost there. You know, Andrew Chamblee, I think, has done some things that's really impressed him, but he still needs to cook a little bit longer. And Marion Harris needs to cook a little bit longer. They've got some young talent. I think Luke Brown's going to be a really good player for him. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that made Pittman intriguing, I think, is, you know, what can he do with Arkansas's offensive line? We saw what they did back in 2015. That was a really good bunch, and recruited extremely highly regarded players, one after another, it seemed. So, and we'll see how it shakes out when it's all said and done. But I would keep my eye on Jaquan McCrory still.
All right, this from our Asher Record Service Company live fan feedback. George says, Trey, on what basis do you see this defense being good enough to be competitive? This was the worst defense in the country last year.
Well, it was only the worst pass defense in the country.
Yeah, come on.
It was maybe the worst. It might have been the worst defense in the SEC.
And that same defense is not returning either.
No, it's not. They've got a better squad. They've got a better defense. I mean, even if they move up a quarter, you know, where they were, then, you know, if the offense gets better, which I think the offense has a chance to be better in situations like short yardage where they really struggled last year, then I think the defense is going to be better overall. I think the secondary is better. I think the defensive line's better. It's hard. I don't think there's a Drew Sanders on this defense, but hey, there could be a Grant Morgan or a Hayden Henry possibly, you know, or somebody that's, you know, maybe in between Drew Sanders and those guys that just kind of put it out on the line for you. Jaheim Thomas probably talent-wise might be the closest thing, but I would be stunned if the defense isn't better this year than they were last year. The game has changed so much. I mean, it's just so much geared towards offense, geared around the quarterback, just more and more and more. To me, if the defense can take a bit of a step forward, which I think they'll take a pretty good step forward, and I think the offense will be a little bit better than should be a pleasing season. They've just what Arkansas has to do. We can talk about defense getting a little better and the offense getting a little bit better. Where the offense has to do a better job in short yardage, and Arkansas coaches have to make better decisions when it comes to short yardage. And there's no reason that Cam Little should have only kicked like 16 field goals last year. You went for it over and over again in short yardage and didn't get it, especially inside the 20 when, Cam Little's right there. And how many games did they lose by 2 or 3 points? Four of them.
Four.
Yeah.
3 of them by 2 points. So that's one field goal.
Yeah. So sometimes make better decisions. I know what analytics say. I know I get analytics, but do analytics tell you how big a momentum shift it is to drive it all the way down the field against somebody, get to the goal line, and come away with no points because you went for it because analytics said to? There's momentum's a real thing in college football.
I think even Lane Kiffin learned his lesson about all those analytics. Going for it on fourth down.
He hasn't learned his lesson. Two seasons ago, and I understand the logic behind it. Going for it versus what the other team will do, and their percentage of scoring, all that stuff. But remember a couple of years ago, they prime example marched all the way down the field against Alabama.
Yeah,
went for it and didn't get it, and
that's right.
Just sucked the momentum away.
All right, Trey, we will talk with you tomorrow. That is Trey Biddy of hogsports.com, being brought to you by Asher Wrecker Service Company. Rick Schaeffer, Chris Kane, I'm Randy Rainwater. Drive Time Sports will continue.
True Service Community Federal Credit Union presents your Raise Your Hog update on Out of Bounds. Paying more than 8% on your auto loan? Refinance today with True Service and save up to 2%. TrueService.net.
Tune in to hear what the head hog has to say each Wednesday with the Sam Pittman Show, brought to you by Chris Crane Hyundai of Conway, Arkansas's #1 Hyundai dealer.
Hello, folks. It's Frank Fletcher from the Fletcher Dodge store here in Sherwood. For the past few months, we've been asking you to give us a chance to buy your cars, and the response has been great. We really appreciate all of you who brought your cars in and turned it into cash. We've purchased hundreds of cars from fine people just like you. Folks, we're still buying cars every day. So look around and see what you or your family has in the garage that you want to turn into cash. It's really easy, folks. Just come into Fletcher Dodge and ask for Chris or Andy. We'll buy any vehicle and we'll pay you more than anyone. We can't find enough vehicles at the auto auctions to meet the demand. So we're extending you this offer to the public. We'll pay you more, so don't wait. We've purchased hundreds of cars from fine people just like you. Come see us today for the best cash offer on your car, truck, van, or SUV. Just ask for Chris or Andy. We'll pay you more, so come see us at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road in Sherwood. Thanks.
Arkansas is sizzling, and Saracen's Summer of Sports Cars continues to keep the heat on with an iconic Camaro convertible from Gwatney Chevrolet. This is the last year for Chevy's classic Camaro, and Saracen Casino is the only place in Arkansas where you can qualify to win one this Saturday night just for playing your favorite games. Only 40 minutes from Little Rock, Saracen is Little Rock's closest place to play.
Saracen Casino Resort, Vegas, Arkansas style.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Football fans, tailgate season is here, which means it's time to score touchdowns and savings for your vehicle. At All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros, we offer incredible deals and service like your daddy used to get, with the financing options that fit your budget. With our team by your side, you'll get MVP service along with the traction and confidence you need to stay on the road. Visit us online today at allabouttireandbrake.com. All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros. Love the drive.
Freshness made easy with Febreze Small Spaces.
Want continuous freshness that fights odors with no batteries and no outlets? Try Febreze Small Spaces. Ah, but what's a small space? To answer that, we brought in our lawyer.
Small spaces include, but are not limited to, bathrooms, closets, laundry room, kid room, pet corners, man cave, shoe sheds, most nooks, and all crannies.
There you go. Febreze Small Spaces is the world's most convenient. Febreze Small Spaces is super convenient and never stops freshening for 45 days.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
The Dell Technologies Back to School event is on with deals on top tech for class, hobbies, and more. Now, when you buy, you support a cause. With every eligible purchase, Dell will donate to UNICEF in support of GIGA, a UNICEF ITU global initiative to connect schools across the globe to the internet. Accidental damage protection included. Get rare deals on select laptops and desktops powered by the latest Intel Core processors. Save now at Dell.com/deals. UNICEF does not endorse any company, brand, product, or service.
Now back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish Studios. Eat My Catfish, now back open in Little Rock in the Riverdale Shopping Center next to Ace Hardware. Eat fresh, eat local, Eat My Catfish. Drive Time Sports, tapped with refreshing sports opinion on the Buzz Radio Network.
I think most of you know that I love to talk about food, but I really like to talk about food when I know I am not only saving myself a lot of money, but I'm saving you and maybe your significant other a lot of money. And what I'm talking about is the dinner for two, the Thursday night chef special at the Riverfront Steakhouse for just $36. Now, it is not often you get all of this for so little. And what I mean by that is you're going to get the Riverfront salad bar for two. And that's everything. It's not like you're limited. You can only go this item or this. No, you get the entire salad bar. Then you get to pick not one, but you got to split two entrees. That's either the penne pasta carbonara or the grilled chicken breast 10-ounce, lemon pepper or blackened, or 6 of the fried or scampi jumbo shrimp. 6. So you get to pick 2 of those. Then you get to pick 2 side items, whether it be a baked potato, mashed potato, onion rings, spinach supreme. How much did you say? $36. That's something special. It's the chef special that you'll find at the Riverfront Steakhouse, Wyndham Hotel in North Little Rock. Make a reservation, 371-9000, 501-371-9000. Ask for William or Shapur. Tell them I sent you, and be sure to ask for the dinner for two, the Thursday night chef special for just $36. Can't beat that deal. And we are now joined by my doctor, my man who has taken care of me now for many a year, and that is Dr. Jimmy Tucker, Ortho, Arkansas. Jimmy, we are seeing record heat across our state and in particular Central Arkansas. And some heat indexes have reached upwards to 115.
Yeah, it's definitely been a very hot end to the summer.
And now we've got the start of high school football. There'll be, I know, at least 2 games tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
And then I am totally blown away that we have such a heavy slate. I know Rick's I got to go ahead and say it. It's week
in
zero.
The first week of the season. That's right. It's the first week of the season.
First week of the season.
Week 0,
right.
Rick. You know you want to say it.
No, I don't.
No.
Yeah, it's 0 weeks, so they're not really games.
And Jimmy, we are seeing a large number of those games being backed up to 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I think most people are trying to get them moved later. And, you know, the football teams are practicing really early in the morning, too, to try and work around this heat.
Just a quick update. Friday, currently right now, high of 103. And at 8 p.m., expected weather is going to be around 93, low 90s at this time. So Dr. Tucker, I know that there's been a big effort recently to provide cold tubs to schools. How much do you know about that effort, how it's proceeded to extend its outreach to all these area schools and all the rural schools as well, to try to get as many schools that opportunity for an emergency situation?
Well, I think the biggest thing was when they changed the recommendations. If somebody has a heat emergency, they used to call an ambulance and transport them to the hospital and try and deal with it there. But the most effective treatment for a heat emergency is immediately putting somebody in an ice bath and bringing their body core temperature down before you do anything with them, like transport them to the hospital.
Great idea.
Yeah.
I think recognition that was the best way to treat people or treat athletes, and recommendations by the AAA that's what happened, have really changed things. But that 5 years ago, that wasn't necessarily the case, and so the tubs are going out, but it's a process.
Now, Jimmy, at Ortho, Arkansas, are they trainers? Is that the proper term? But you've got trained personnel that are at schools all throughout our area. What are their responsibilities when it gets into something of this nature?
Yeah, they're athletic trainers. Well, their major responsibility is to recognize when somebody might be having a problem with the heat. But they also check, all of our trainers have a wet globe bulb thermometer, which takes into account the temperature and the humidity. And that's what the AAA recommendations actually, you have to use that, not just a thermometer, to decide when you can practice, how long you can practice, and what all can be done. And so all of our trainers have that, and they check that to ensure that we're within the regulations before the kids practice.
So what if you were just looking at this as an overview? What are some of the recommendations? I mean, it's easy to say drink a lot of water. Is that where it begins? Drink a lot of water?
Yeah, like 2 days before you get ready, and the day before you get ready. Staying hydrated for something like this involves constantly taking in enough water. And one of the things that you have to be careful with is that your players aren't losing too much weight. And so one of the things that's done is to weigh them before and after practice to try and address some of those problems ahead of time.
There has been, I think, a recommendation also. I don't know if this is practice or if this is practice and games, but every 15 minutes, basically take a break.
Yeah, it depends on what the temperature is. And, the AAA has regulations for all of this, and they're honestly some of the most stringent ones in the country.
So what about the schools that are blessed to have turf, artificial turf? Does anything need to be done differently there? I realize that the old pellets that I'm familiar with, that you look like a ground up tire after the end of a game. And if you sweat like I did,
they retain heat, don't they?
Oh, and I was covered from head to toe. But what can those with artificial turf? Is there anything that can be done to help address any of the heat that may be coming off of the field?
No, not really. I mean, they're changing over from the black pellets, obviously, to pellets that don't retain as much heat. But when they're taking the temperatures, they're down on the field. And so, they have an idea about how hot it is down there and what they need to do.
All right, Jimmy, this would apply to me, but I'm not playing. But what kind of injuries result or could result from this extreme heat?
Well, I don't think there's it's so much an injury problem as heat exhaustion and hyperthermia. Those are the two major things you worry about. There's not a specific heat-related injury as far as the joints and muscles, but you need to stay hydrated. You need to go in being hydrated. They need a way to cool the players when they're on the sideline, and somebody's just got to keep up with what the temperature is and make sure that they're following the recommendations. Because like I said, the recommendations from the AAA are some of the most stringent in the country.
Ryan Vaughn, a meteorologist from KAIT in Northeast Arkansas. He said, I'll post the numbers later, but Friday night will be the hottest start to high school football in at least 20 years. He said, I can't find the schedules beyond that online to get a start date for years prior. And he said, note, 7 of the 20 years started in September. This is the earliest start to high school football in the last 20 years. And I'm still researching beyond that. Might be the earliest start beyond. So interesting note there about just the timing of it. Why is it so hot? Well, we're starting earlier. Week 0, Rick, right? Am I right? Exactly. Got to get these in.
No. Chris, I hope you're back on the show next week.
I'm going to get you a T-shirt, Rick, and a hat. You're going to love it. You're going to love it.
Well, and one of the concerns is how much time do these players spend outside during the summer?
Yeah.
Because, there's been a tendency over the last 20 years for them to stay inside and not be out doing outdoor activities. I don't think that's as much of a problem now with team camps and 7-on-7. I think these kids are more acclimated over the last several years to the weather than they were, say, 10 years ago.
I just hope this 2023, July, August will be an exception. And I don't want to go into climate change, but I hope we don't have to face these kind of issues next year, especially on the opening weekend of high school sports. Because I'll be honest with you. I hate that term. I'll be candid with you. I'm not looking forward next Friday, or I'm sorry, next Saturday, tailgating at War Memorial Stadium for a 3:00 kickoff. And it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot. I may not be this hot, thank goodness.
Do you melt?
Well, I think
I do.
All you're going to be doing is talking. I mean, how hard is that?
Right? I'm like,
I need a good shade tree.
Aspect about this is the temperature and the humidity are not generally like this. We may have a hot August, but it is very rarely this wet.
Yeah.
And so you may be dealing with a lot of heat, but most of the time the humidity level is not what it is right now.
The wet bulb globe temperature, right, Dr. Tucker?
That's it.
That's it. That's what it was changed to back in 2021. That's how they measure it now.
Oh, Jimmy, Chris is dangerous with that computer over there. He's pulling
a quick search away, Randy. Watch out.
He is the man with the computer. All right, Jimmy Joe. We just hope nothing happens and all these games are played successfully. Thank you for weighing in. That is Dr. Jimmy Joe Tucker, Ortho Arkansas, who, oh, by the way, is our sponsor of the Ortho Arkansas High School Football Scoreboard Show, which will have our first one Friday night at 10 o'clock. All right, Drive Time Sports will continue in a moment.
Quinn Grovey gets in the zone each week, courtesy of Bell & Sword, 1011 Oak Street in Conway. From boots to suits, they have everything for the best-dressed man. Bell & Sword.
Hey, it's Joey and Ryan here at Red River Dodge. We're known for amazing deals, but this month it's going to be much better. Have you ever wanted to buy a Jeep Gladiator? Well, now's the time. Employee pricing rebates, 1.9% financing, and much more on select models.
Ram $1,500 up to $13,000 off on select units.
So for all your new Ram, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep,
Make that beautiful drive to Heber Springs
during the Make This the Summer event.
And don't forget, at Red River, we deliver. God bless.
Hi, I'm Sherry with Central Arkansas Fireplaces. Today, building a home is more frustrating than ever before, with rising costs, material shortages, and delays. We're hoping to ease some of that burden here at Central Arkansas Fireplaces by expanding our showroom and warehouse space and building our stock with as many popular fireplaces as possible for our homeowners and contractors. So come by and let us help you find that perfect fireplace, stove, or insert today at Central Arkansas Fireplaces, where we know fireplaces.
This is Pat Bradley for Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union. Summer's coming to an end soon, and so will the Summer Auto Loan Special from Alcoa. Hurry to take advantage of rates as low as 2.49%, up to 84 months financing, and no payments for 90 days. Can't get better than that. You can apply online at alcoacommunityfcu.org or at their branches in Benton and Sheridan. Rates like these don't come along often, so hurry and don't miss out. Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union, serving Saline, Grant, Garland, Hot Spring, and Perry counties.
Stacked commercial truck and trailer repair with on-site and roadside service for all commercial vehicles, construction equipment, and material handling. When we say get stacked, we mean it. Service for all Class A trucks, trailers, RVs, light and medium duty commercial vehicles, tires, brakes, AC, engine repair, transmissions, differentials, and drivelines, with a team of certified technicians and 5 service trucks to help you get stacked. Stacked commercial truck and trailer, 2 miles off I-530, exit 34 in Whitehall.
At Southern Floor Coating, coatings are all they do, and they won't be beat on price. Factory-trained installers using the purest form of polyurea with UV stability for all your outside projects. When you call, you'll talk with a professional interested in your project, not a voicemail. Don't trust a fly-by-night company that may not be in business next year. Transform your patio, porch, or pool deck and call the real pros at Southern Floor Coating. 501-402-4912 or take a look at southernfloorcoating.com.
Hi, I'm Rick Pennington of Lions Drug. We have great news. Generic Cialis is now available at a huge savings. We have Tadalafil, the FDA-approved generic of Cialis, in a 20-milligram tablet at a savings of up to 80%. We have the 5-milligram daily tablets for less than $3 a pill. Lions Drug continues to be your go-to pharmacy for men's health. What are you waiting for? Call us today at 844-676-2247 or go to our website at lionsdrug.com.
Now back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish Studios. Eat My Catfish, now back open in Little Rock in the Riverdale Shopping Center next to Ace Hardware. Eat fresh, eat local, Eat My Catfish. The #1 sports radio show in Arkansas. Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports. Tomorrow is a huge day, big day. Robert Irwin Jewelers. I will be giving away 5 $200 gift certificates to Robert Irwin Jewelers. We'll be doing a little trivia tomorrow. And you'll have to come into the store to give me the correct answer. And once you do that, if you're the first person to answer it correctly, you'll get that $200 gift certificate. Just that simple. Plus, tomorrow is a big day. And I mean big day in regards to a 50% sale that's ongoing as well. So there's a lot of neat things going on tomorrow through Saturday with the grand opening of the Robert Irwin Jewelers out on Cantrell. And I love giving things away. And this is going to be a fun show tomorrow. And when we talk about 50% off, I mean, that's a lot when it comes to jewelry. And there's all kinds of jewelry that you can take advantage of. So come on out tomorrow. And that is the grand opening of the Robert Irwin Jewelers location at the Pleasant Ridge Town Center near the Fresh Market out on Cantrell. Come on out. We'd love to meet you and greet you. And hopefully you'll get an opportunity to win something in the process. So that's 4 o'clock until 7 o'clock tomorrow. Oh, by the way, there is the original location in McCain Mall. But the new store is the Pleasant Ridge Town Center in Little Rock. All right, Chris has moved on me, so I got to do that.
Randy, it's great. You're going to a grand opening, right?
Yes.
Does that mean it's 0 day there?
It will be 0 day there.
No, it won't. It's grand opening.
Day
it's
0.
their first day.
Day 0.
No, it's not day 0. It's whatever it is. It's their grand opening. It's day 1. They don't, or maybe they already had day 1, but there's no 0.
Well, you know, Rick, I've been listening to you, Rick, I've gotten to know you over the years. You're always so level-headed about everything,
including this.
Yeah, well, no, I'm saying is I've never heard you get upset. You know, Randy, you've known him a lot longer than I have, but I'm just telling you, in my 12 years here, this is the first time it has struck a nerve with Rick Schaeffer.
Well, Chris, this is basically the stupidest thing ever. So that's why, to me, something that's that dumb, you have to say something about. And then, of course, Randy knows how to get me irritated even more. And David Basil got me irritated yesterday morning, or Roger Scott, because it is the stupidest thing that's ever been said. There is no such thing as 0 week, or there's 0 games. So that's enough. We've said enough about it, but it's stupid.
It's a sticking point.
I love you at the AAA. I love you guys, but that's wrong. But it's not just the AAA. College football is calling it that.
No, it
Can you
is.
believe that?
Yeah, no, it's college football really is taking.
So does that mean if you lose, you don't count it? If you lose, you don't count. If you win, you count it. If you lose, you don't count it.
Well, if you look
0 week.
If you look at the ranked teams playing this week, Rick.
Well, nobody is, are they?
Yeah, there's 2 ranked teams playing. Notre Dame and USC are playing not each other, unfortunately. That would actually make it worth it.
Navy.
Notre Dame and Navy overseas, and then USC is playing San Jose State. And we all know, don't sleep on San Jose State. Am I right? No, am I right? Yes.
Yeah.
But
that'd be great.
What's interesting is, USC and everyone's they're number 6 in the country. So there's very low risk of them losing. But if you remember, they gave up a huge lead to Tulane last year in the bowl game. They fell apart against Utah. Now they do have the best quarterback in the nation, best college football player in the nation. But I don't know how San Jose State is going to be this year. But I did find it interesting that they're playing, a ranked team like USC is playing in the week before week 1.
Yeah.
I understand Notre Dame doing it because it's a novelty game. You're overseas, that's more understandable.
Need a week to recover.
Exactly. Yes. But USC doing it was a little puzzling, but oh well.
In Dublin, no less. All right, I want to go ahead and take my medicine. I got to find it to make sure that I
really. Do you have a commercial for that too?
Yeah, I've got
Dr. Jimmy recommended it while he was on. During a commercial
while I was on hold. Said this is for my Yankee fever. Said the New York Yankees extended the losing streak to 9 for the first time in 41 years.
Yeah.
Winless since beating the Marlins on August the 11th in Miami. They are on their first 9-game losing streak since September the 13th to the 21st, 1982. And I think they need to go for it. Their last 10
go for the record.
Their last 10-game losing streak was May 21st through June the 6th, 1913. So I want them to go for it. I want them to go for it. Establish a new record. If you're going to be this bad this year, 1913. And that's when the team was in the first year of being known as the Yankees and shared the Polo Grounds with the Giants. So
yes, they did until 1921, I believe. Okay, so your favorite announcers, John Sterling and Susan Waldman, haven't exactly been positive about this Yankee losing streak. And in fact, Susan Walden, who talks like grating, she said on a hot mic when she didn't know she was on the air, God, this is boring. So we'll see if there are any ramifications from that. I doubt it.
Yeah, well,
because they were telling the truth, but evidently both of them, have, just from what I was reading, I don't know what their comments have been, but they've been, they haven't been that kind. So they've been frequently critical.
I mean, the Orioles suspended that guy for almost
Yeah.
a month for nothing more than repeating the facts, the actual facts.
2 weeks. But that was their absolutely stupid. Okay, you want to know something as stupid as 0 week? Ownership of the Baltimore Orioles. They're about as stupid. And here they are. You know, they haven't signed a new lease on Camden Yards, which is one of the greatest places to play baseball. It expires in December. The state is giving them $600 million for improvements. But they want one of these things like Atlanta's got, where you got all this stuff around the ballpark. There's no room for it. And so what do? Build a new ball? You got one of the best ballparks in baseball, and you're going to go build a new one. So the Angelos family needs to sell the Orioles.
All right, we need to go to this. This is a urgent traffic update. Danny, there has been an accident on what, Highway 10?
Yes, sir. There's a pretty bad accident at Sam Peck and Highway 10 eastbound. So if you're coming eastbound on Highway 10, you need to find another route because it's already backed up past Rawling Road, which is probably a mile and a half. People are sitting in standstill traffic in 110 heat. So just passing it on. If you're coming eastbound on Highway 10, you need to take advantage of getting off there anywhere you can before you get to Rawling, because from then on you're going to be in a standstill for a while.
Well, hopefully the ones that are near Rawling Road will go ahead and make that detour. I don't know how they can get the others.
Not a lot of choices
that are bottled up.
Taylor Loop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get off on Taylor Loop.
Danny, thank you for that update. How recent has the accident happened? Do you know?
They're putting them on records. So the police are on scene, but there's about 3 police cars. It looks like they got both lanes blocked. So I don't know if they're detouring people onto Sam Peck to go up through that neighborhood and detour around or not. I couldn't tell, but it's a pretty bad situation.
All right, Danny. Thank you for that.
Thank you much.
That traffic update. Again, avoid Highway 10 in particular in or around Rawling or Sam Peck roads. Let's talk. Well, there's the music. We got to take a break. Wow. Top of the hour. Chris.
Hello.
Man, just seemed like you got here. And now you're about to go.
Oh, thank you for having me.
As usual.
Rick, I'll see you week 1.
Hey, have a nice first week of the season.
Thank you. I'll see you week 1, buddy. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, you do. You too. All right, we got to step aside. Hour number 3 coming up.
Biggest grand opening sale in Robert Irwin Jewelers company history is going on this Thursday through Saturday. Save up to 50% off, free gifts just for stopping in while supplies last. Bigger, brighter diamonds, better prices at the Robert Irwin Jewelers grand opening sale, Pleasant Ridge Town Center in Little Rock.
There's nothing quite like outdoor living, and at Razorback Camper Sales, we've been bringing the camping lifestyle to families for over 50 years. We're Arkansas's oldest family-owned RV dealer with the best parts and service department in the state. Razorback Camper Sales has everything you need for travel trailers, fifth wheels, and pop-ups. Find out why our customers are always happy campers. Come see us in Hot Springs or online at razorbackcampersales.com.
Celebrate 20 wild years with Willie D's Rock and Roll Piano Bar on August 26th. Reserve your table at WillieD'sPianoBar.com.
Willie D's dueling pianos. Come and get your Willie on.
Listen each Monday when Morning Mayhem's Justin Moore tests your Razorback knowledge with Razorback Trivia, presented by Capital Smokehouse and Grill, downtown Little Rock's go-to lunch spot.
1037 The Buzz, KABZ Little Rock, powered by you, the fan.
Fire it up! I'm listening.
Buzz News with Channel 7's Cassandra Webb.
Little Rock police are asking for your help in the murder of 18-year-old Tiffany Sherman. She was shot Saturday morning near East 14th and Bond Street in Little Rock. She was taken to a hospital where she would later die from her injuries. She was a mother of a 2-year-old boy and a 1-year-old girl. As of this morning, the police still have not identified a suspect in this case. If you have any information about the death of Tiffany Sherman, please call Little Rock Police. In North Little Rock, 2 arrests were made for the murder of 21-year-old Taylor Davis back on Labor Day of 2021. 20-year-olds Efabian McMiller and Jaleb White were arrested on charges of capital murder and battery. They're accused of shooting Taylor as she sat in a car with a friend at the Icon Lakewood apartment complex in North Little Rock. Both are being held in the Pulaski County Jail. For more news and weather, download our free KATV News and Weather app. From the Channel 7 Newsroom, I'm Cassandra Webb.
If you don't already have the Bet Saracen Sports Wager app, download it today from the app stores or go to BetSaracen.com. Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports betting app.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
An excessive heat warning continues for the entire state with a high today around 102. That puts our heat index at 110 or greater. More heat like that for Thursday and Friday, Saturday 100, mid-90s Sunday. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Today's special at Benihana, lunch only hibachi chicken, $14.95, which includes Benihana soup and our famous fried rice. Come see us at lunch.
Join the zone each Monday for game balls and jock straps. Brought to you by A Caddy's Touch Landscaping. Find out who made the best, average, and worst headlines in sports and entertainment each Monday as Justin Akery and Wes Moore give you their game balls and jock straps on the zone from 10 to 1. It's all brought to you by A Caddy's Touch Landscaping, 501-794-2770. Call today to get your landscape updated to a whole new level and be listening for game balls and jock straps only on 103.7 The Buzz.
Sometimes the best summer getaway is the journey to the getaway. Start your summer road trip adventure at Hyundai, now during the Getaway Sales Event. Hurry in for great deals on many models, all backed by America's best warranty. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Right now, get the Tucson or Santa Fe with up to $2,500 total savings. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. For well-qualified buyers only. Offer ends 9/5/23. Call 469-613-0227 for more details.
Slim Chicken's craft sandwich lineup just got spicier. The new Nashville hot chicken sandwich is here for a limited time. Delicious hand-breaded chicken with a deep, spicy sweet kick, layered on crisp pickles, and topped with fresh-made coleslaw, all on a brioche bun. This one's looking mighty fine in the spotlight. The Nashville hot chicken sandwich, a limited-time addition to the craft sandwich lineup, only at Slim Chickens. Visit slimchickens.com to order or find a Slim's location near you.
Stacked Commercial Truck and Trailer has 5 service trucks available, providing you on-site service to get you back on the road. If that doesn't do it, Stacked has a new state-of-the-art 13-bay shop for service and repair on all Class A trucks, trailers, RVs, light and medium-duty commercial vehicles, tires, brakes, AC, engine repair, transmissions, differentials, and driveline repair. Stacked Commercial Truck and Trailer Repair. Get Stacked, 2 miles off 530 exit 34 in Whitehall.
In sports, every coach is looking for the winning combination. Arch Marine in North Little Rock is no different. The reason being, they have the winning combination. G3 boats with a Yamaha motor. Your granddaddy trusted Arch Marine, so can you.
This is the Pigskin Preacher bringing you the word. At a recent Paris fashion show, Valentino trotted out Cindy Crawford's daughter, Kaya Gerber, in a pair of jeans and a white shirt. Except they weren't jeans, but were made from silk gazar entirely embroidered in micro beads dyed 80 different shades of indigo to resemble denim. You got to be kidding. These are the world's most expensive jeans for folks with too much money and too little sense. Or to quote George Costanza, Ich bin ein Sucker. Save your money and buy some Levi's, folks. Speaking of value, come over to Doublebee's, where your dollar will hit pay dirt. The 34 Arkansas locations of Doublebee's always have great deals and specials. Doublebee's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebee's.
Does your knee pain keep getting worse? How about that pain in your shoulder or your hip, maybe even your back? Don't let them tell you steroids and surgery are your only options. Take my advice and call my friends over at QC Kinetics. Hey everybody, it's RJ Hawk. QC Kinetics can make that pain go away with all-natural advanced regenerative medicine. They're helping people all over Central Arkansas every single day with this amazing natural treatments that restore and repair damaged tissue. It's just like turning back the clock. Regenerative medicine uses a concentrated healing agent from your own body to stimulate stimulate that damaged tissue in your joints so that they'll work like they're supposed to. And there's zero downtime. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting medical breakthrough. Patients are getting real lasting relief and are saying no to surgery and no to drugs. And the consultation is free. Call QC Kinetics today at 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440.
Tune in to Morning Mayhem as they broadcast live from Greystone Country Club in Cabot for the Grisham Classic, presented by Natural State Wholesale and benefiting The Call. Listen in as the guys interview guest of the Flooring King, Don Grisham.
Live from the Eat My Catfish Studios, it's time for Arkansas's #1 collar-driven sports show. It's Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network with your hosts, Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaeffer. Lock it in and get ready to dial us up. Drive Time Sports is on the air.
Hour number 3 of Drive Time Sports here on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaeffer standing by in Northwest Arkansas. I'm Randy Rainwater from the capital city. Let's start this third hour off with Navy Mike. Mike, good afternoon.
Hello, Randy, and Rick.
Mike.
You know, Randy, a couple of things. As far as your Yankees historic, just slump. I think that's probably going to cost your skipper his job at the end of the year. I think they're going to be getting rid of Aaron Boone.
I hope they get rid of Brian Cashman. He's more of the architect of this disaster than anybody.
Right. But you know what? I was thinking, while I was waiting. Well, I mean, who are you going to bring in as far as replacement that's going to be better? Because Aaron Boone wasn't. He wasn't.
I think he's a good manager. I don't have a problem with Boone.
But he's gonna have to fall on the sword, as the manager. But I think honestly, you're gonna bring in a legend. He's been cutting his teeth and getting his feet wet as a executive in the front office in Major League Baseball. And I think your next guy that's going to be up there in the dugout managing your Yankees is going to be one Derek Jeter. I think they're probably already in talks with him, and he'd love to be up there and run that team. I mean, the respect that he would command in that locker room and in that dugout as an icon of the sport. I don't know who else you can get that could do something like that.
Well, the Yankees are used to spending a lot of money, and they spent a lot of money this year. They have the second highest payroll. But when you look at their lineup, and Randy would agree, I think, they were playing the Braves last week. And somebody on MLB Network said Aaron Judge is the only player on this team that would start for the Atlanta Braves.
They were so overmatched.
So if that's the case, then you got to blame Brian Cashman, not the manager, for that, because their talent level is the lowest it's been in years. So you have to say, what are they paying for?
And they did nothing.
The second highest payroll.
They did nothing at the trade deadline.
Well, what were they going to do?
Well, I realize that, but I'm just saying, at least, it's like ownership going down the tubes and blaming the manager for Ohtani, hanging on to him. They should have moved him. Have they improved a bit?
Yeah.
No,
they've gone backwards. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, that kind of a splash hire. I mean, that guy would have guys,
but he's set up to fail.
Like if Derek Jeter would have guys running through brick walls for him. I'm not even a Yankee fan. I hate the Yankees, and I would run through a brick wall for that guy.
Well, you can't run through a brick wall.
I don't know what other kind of hire you would make besides him that would get you back over the hump and back into contention.
Bring George Steinbrenner back.
Well, Mike, here's the other thing is in baseball, you can't run through a wall 162 times. It's too many.
Nope.
They need an upgrade in talent. And if they
No,
bring
right,
Jeter
yeah.
in, he's
Well-
set up to fail.
And they're hamstrung with contracts.
Yeah. that's
Stanton.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Oh, boy.
still out millions to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even my man at first
And he's
base,
got-
Rizzo,
and he's
hadn't
got four-
panned out.
And Stanton's got
Yeah.
4 years left on his contract. 4 years.
Some of these guys you overpaid. I mean,
Oh my
we've seen it,
gosh.
over and over again. But
Yeah.
Randy, as far as the defense, everybody's excited about these new defensive coordinator hires and defensive coaches. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I am too. But just because it's fresh blood, it's new blood. I mean, maybe they got a new philosophy that fits better with the modern era of football. But what I do know is that every year we'll say, Hog fans will say, and analysts will say, well, the defense can't be any worse than it was last year. And then guess what happens? It's just as bad, if not worse. I mean,
They have better
you're talking about,
players. It's not just the coaches. They have better players. Yeah.
You're talking about going back 10, 12, 15 years.
Right.
Guys like Willie Robinson, Paul Rhodes, Rob Smith, John Chavis. I mean, just because you changed defensive philosophies doesn't mean that it's going to change anything because it hasn't. You haven't had a great defense since the Houston Nut era.
They have better players on defense. That makes
well,
the difference.
we think so, and we keep saying that, but it doesn't manifest on the field. That's what I'm saying.
I'm buying the Kool-Aid that the defense is going to be better.
Me too.
And the reason I'm buying the Kool-Aid, I think they've got better players.
We keep saying we're going to buy the Kool-Aid. We said that for the last 10, 12 years.
Okay, Mike.
Mike, you
all
have
we can
never
do
bought
is
the
talk about.
Kool-Aid.
All we can do is talk about this year. We can't change from the past.
That's right.
All I am saying, I'm buying the Kool-Aid that this defense is going to be better. Now, did I say it's going to lead the SEC against the run, against the pass? I'm not saying that. They're not going to be the number one defense in the SEC overall. I'm going to say they're going to be better than they were last year. Yes, absolutely. Now, whoa. Let's put our money where our mouth is. I'll put like $500 that this defense, $500 with you, Mike, that this defense will be better than last year's.
Good grief.
And Randy, I'll match that, and you can go to whatever charity you want to put it to. And because I hope it is too. I want to believe that it doesn't happen.
Well,
you got to figure out a statistic or something you guys are betting on. But here's Mike, by your theory, Arkansas's defense will never get better for the rest of history, because if it was bad last year, it can't get better. If at some point it is going to get better, and so that's the
well, look. Hopefully it is this year. Hopefully all these changes they made, and they have got some good players in the portal. That's fact. But I've got to see it on the field, and that's all,
Mike. All right, Mike. Whoa! Before you go, Mike. What is the number that they must improve upon before I win my bet?
Well, what were they in the SEC in total defense last year?
Okay, let's do something like that, like total defense.
Okay, so what were they last year?
They probably were near the bottom.
I'm not sure they were total defense. They were in passing defense. Let me see if I can find it.
I think they were burned on the back end a whole lot. So let's go with that. Let's go with passing defense. Yeah.
Well, they can't be worse. You just lost. They can't be worse than last. That means if Randy wins, if they're 13th or better.
Well, I can at least get a push if they match that.
Okay, that's it.
You're too easy. Man, you are too easy.
Okay.
All right. Hey, and that's all you guys. I'll get you guys comments on that whatnot. And you guys have a good evening.
Well, I've already made my comment. My money.
He might as well make that check out to your favorite charity.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I can't believe that. I'm looking through the Arkansas press guide, not the I don't have the SEC one, but I'm trying to think where Arkansas ranked even in total defense. That's what you should have made the bet on, was if they were 11th out of 14, they have to be 7th or better. That would have been a good bet. You got
My
man, did you
media
get the
guys
easiest-
disappeared from the studio, so I don't
You
know.
got the easiest bet. Bet Saracen wouldn't give you that.
Neil,
All you have to do is improve by one.
Neil, you want to take that bet? Neil,
That instead of 14th, if you finish 13th, you win.
I like it.
Nobody's giving that
I
up.
like it. Well, wait a minute. I haven't heard from Neil yet. Neil may come back at me and say he'll take it.
There's no way he would take that.
Well, you never know.
No, I
Be my luck.
I
he's
can
not-
be 100% sure. He
It'd
wouldn't
be
do
my
that.
luck. He's not even listening right now, and I'm I'm just wasting hot air. Let's talk to Stan. Stan, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive Time Sports.
Randy, my friend.
Hey, Stan, I'm still
How you
waiting my
doing, bro?
$25, so I'm not gonna make a deal with you.
Yes, sir. I sent the mail. I don't know why y'all didn't get it.
Oh, whoa! I see the mailman
What?
coming right now. Special
How you doing?
delivery.
How you doing, Rick?
I'm doing
Rick,
great.
how you
How
doing,
about
brother?
you, Stan? I'm
Oh,
doing
I'm doing
super,
all right.
thank
Hey,
you.
man, look at here. Hey, where's I'm just ready for some SEC football, baby.
Yeah, good.
Hey, where's what Marcus at? Marcus ain't coming on for this football season.
Marcus
I don't know. He
Marcus
came
is
on
a
couple
traveling
times, but it's
man.
been a while. Yeah.
Oh, he be trapped. Okay,
He
man,
is
I
a
didn't know.
traveling. His job takes him all the way from
Damn.
Little Rock to I don't know how far north. I know he goes into Oklahoma, into
Oh, really?
Texas,
Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know
down
that.
into
Okay. I didn't know.
Florida.
Okay,
He is
he
a
be rolling.
traveling man. Louisiana.
So he didn't say when he might get a chance to come back on. So
I'll have to send him another text just to check up on him.
hey, what my man Fitzhill at? Ain't up to Fitz, man.
He's gearing up for football. He's getting ready to start the season here soon.
So when he coming on?
We talked about that the other day. I think once the season gets underway, we'll see the doctor of football. Probably on Thursdays.
That'll work then, yeah, that'll work. Hey, it ain't the same it ain't the same with neither one of them, man. It's the same, man.
Well,
but anyway, man, that's all I wanted to ask you about, man. Hey, y'all have a good evening. All I'm gonna say is have a good evening and go home.
Boom!
Thank you.
Man, it's Navy Mike and Stan back to back. The only one missing right now is my man Joe from Forest City. Joe.
Okay, let's see. Passing defense, Arkansas was actually in the SEC. It says they were 13th. I thought they were last in the nation.
I thought they were too.
But it says 13th last year. Let's see. Rushing, receiving, team defense. Okay, let's go team defense. Oh, that's it. Team defense, they were 13th. So they were 13th in team defense. So all they have to do to be better is 12th. They were last in pass defense, but they were 13th in total defense. Mike Loggins wants that bet too. He says, mine's not going to charity. I want the money. Yeah. Okay. So a good bet would have been, say, if they're 8th or better. But Mike didn't even wait for that. He gave you so that, and his was pass defense. It wasn't even team defense. So all they have to do is finish 13th or better in pass defense, and you win. What about total? You should have been total defense. Arkansas was 13th last year in total defense. I got to believe they'll be much better than that.
Yep, I agree. That's why I was willing to put my money where my mouth was.
Yeah.
Let's see this from our Asher Record Service Company live feedback. Razor Hog 43. 43 was Tommy Trantham. 43 was Gary Anderson.
Yeah.
Says, I'm with Rick and tired of hearing week 0. I am tired of hearing it and having to turn my radio down on my favorite show because of it.
Thank you.
It is game week and game day. If there's a week left, it cannot be week 0.
That's right.
I am not saying people are stupid, but week 0 is stupid.
Oh yeah, people aren't, but that phrase is.
Game week, please. After the first week, then it's just football until game day. Or if you want each week, it can be game week. But please, caller, stop with game 0 week. Just get on just to get on Rick's nerves. He is right. You all must love being wrong. Savage says, ask Rick what game had the first hog call and year. Do tell, Wikipedia.
Okay. The only thing I know is it was sometime in the 1920s. It is not documented which game. The game was, I guess they were playing in Little Rock back then because supposedly the game was in Little Rock. They must have been playing where Central plays, Quigley Stadium. Is that it? They played some games there.
Quigley. Mm-hmm.
And supposedly Arkansas was losing, and a hog farmer started calling the hogs. I doubt if he said "woo pig suey." I'm guessing he was, woo, 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 or, some kind of hog call that was like the real thing, like you really did call hogs with. And so evidently other members of the crowd started doing that. Arkansas came back and won the game. And it just kind of took it from there. Now, does that mean the very next week everybody was calling the hogs? I don't know. And I don't know the name. I don't know the game. I just know that it was supposedly in Little Rock and at some point in the 1920s.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Also from our Asher Record Service Company live fan feedback, Ryan says, reality is, you know who did best in the portal? Ole Miss, LSU, and all the other teams we play. LOL.
Well, the question is, how many of theirs? Sam Pittman said yesterday that at least 10.
I thought he said portal, 11.
He said 9 to 11. So I guess you could say 10. But somewhere between 9 to 11 players that transferred in from the portal will start. Okay, if it's 11, that's half the team. So the question is, how many
half
in the
starters.
Portal? Yeah, will be starters. Yeah, half the starters. So the question is, at LSU and Ole Miss, how many of their starters will have come from the transfer portal? And I guess we don't know that right now. So that would be the big question.
Okay, this from our Southern Structural Solutions Buzz text line. This from, doesn't matter, 501. Can we still tailgate on the old golf course, the one Frank turned into a cow pasture? That's not exactly a cow pasture, but because they keep it mowed most of the time. Yes, you can. You can still tailgate on the old golf course.
By the way, Brian Cashman has admitted the season was a disaster. That story is just out.
Oh boy, thanks, Brian. I appreciate that.
I knew that'd make you feel good.
Okay, this from Jeff in Monticello. Jeff, Randy, do they consider the spring game as week -20? I don't know. I haven't counted the days in the weeks leading up to the spring game. I guess that works out to 20 weeks is where that is.
I don't know. He probably figured that out. It was in April.
This is from our Asher Record Service Company live fan feedback. Delta Hog says every August, ho hum. Trey sounds like a broken record every August.
Really?
Huh. I didn't know that.
Wow. Well, a broken record.
I don't want to use his record player then.
Or broken record goes. I mean, it has cracks and sticks, and when you play a song, it keeps playing the same thing over and over again.
That needle can ruin a record too.
Yeah, it can. But I get what she's saying is, broken record. Okay.
All right.
Well, everybody's more optimistic in August. Everybody is, except Mike.
This from Dan. He says the game versus Houston in 1989. My mom was pregnant with me and talks about how amazing you were to watch, talking about Quinn Grovey.
Well, you had to be there because Quinn, I don't know if he's got game video that the coaches shot or what. The game was not on television of any kind. And, how you could put all that together, I don't know. But I think that's fabulous. I look forward to seeing it.
And he said that they had the the radio
synced in.
play-by-play over the top of it. So, that'd be about the only way they could do it, is to have the coaches film. This from Hog Reality, he says, the truth is the defense. Nobody knows how good or average this defense is going to be. Nobody.
That's right.
Nobody from nowhere.
But he hadn't called us in a while. Yeah, so we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Nobody, would you please call us to tell us how good the defense is going to be?
And Rick, this rebuttal from Jack Crow. He said, Rick, I'm discouraged and downtrodden about your slanderous accusations. I never said that about the Citadel. I'm asking you to issue a public apology towards me and my reputation. My lawyer will be issuing you a cease and desist letter. Otherwise, I am the greatest coach of all time.
Well, I have it on excellent authority that you did say that. And I have excellent authority that was the reply. So,
yeah, we have some really good we get a lot of great feedback. Okay. Yeah. Let's see, from our Southern Structural Solutions bus text line, Rick, this from the 501. Rick, please do your version of the original hog call again.
No. It'd be something like suey. Isn't that how they call them? I don't know. I've never been out on a farm calling hogs, but that's kind of what I think is suey. But I don't think you can say woo pig. I think it's suey. I think. But if we've got somebody out there that's actually done it, calling pigs on your farm or your ranch or whatever it is, please call in and do it for us.
All right, we will step aside for a moment. Rick Schaeffer, I'm Randy Rainwater, Drive Time Sports. We'll continue in a moment.
Help your school bring home the win when you donate blood at one of this year's Salt Bowl Community Challenge blood drives on Thursday, August 24th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Riverside Park or Bishop Park. Bring your family in to donate and you could win one of 2 grand prize football packages that include a pair of September 2nd Wood Rock game tickets, a one-night hotel stay, game swag, and much more. So get out on the gridiron, donate blood, and bring home the win. Visit obi.org/events for more.
Hi, folks. It's Chris Zender here at Frank Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sherwood. Everybody's talking about high prices these days. Gas prices, grocery prices, interest rates. It seems like everything costs more than it used to. But at Fletcher Dodge, we're fighting back against high prices and interest rates. We have employee pricing plus 1.9% on all new Jeep Gladiators and 1.9% on Jeep Compass. And here's the deal of the week. 2.9% financing for 72 months on new Rams. That's 2.9% for 6 years on a new Ram. And we have 2.9% for 72 months plus $4,000 off new Jeep Grand Cherokees. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood for the deal of a lifetime on a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep or Ram. At Fletcher Dodge, you always get the best price, the lowest finance rate, and more for your trade. And we promise you a hassle-free buying experience. So come see us and give us a chance to earn your business. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Come see us in person at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road or shop online at FletcherDeals.com.
Hey, Howie, it's the grand opening of your new location of Robert Irwin Jewelers.
The biggest grand opening sale in Robert Irwin Jewelers history is going on this Thursday through Saturday.
What's on sale, Howie?
Diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, anniversary bands. The entire store is on sale up to 50% off.
And you can pay 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Plus, get a free gift just for coming in while supplies last.
Bigger, brighter diamonds.
Better prices. Robert Irwin Jewelers grand opening sale in the Pleasant Ridge Town Center off of Cantrell Road next to the Fresh Market.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Gary Elmore in Lone Oak, Todd Matthews in Benton, or Lawrence Forrester in Cabot today.
Trey Schapp and Chris Shinup with you. Chris, the 19th annual Kickoff to Men's Health is coming up.
Yeah, Trey, we're pretty excited. It's coming up. The first one will be September 7th at our Little Rock location, 1300 Centerview Drive.
Men 40 and older, it's time to get screened, is it not?
It is. And, as our CEO, Scott Davis, says, you come in for a free screen and you might win a 65-inch flat screen TV.
263-0926 for more information or arkansasurology.com. Guys, you can just show up. All thanks to our presenting sponsor, CHI St. Vincent.
David Dunn here with Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. We're the area's largest and highest rated independent diesel repair facility for all makes and models, from transmissions and brakes to suspensions and engine repair. If you're tired of high dealership prices and long wait times, come see what family owned and locally operated really means. Expert technicians and the latest computer diagnostics will get your equipment back on the road fast. Take the England exit on I-440 to Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. 568-2185. That's Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer.
Now back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish Studios. Eat My Catfish, now back open in Little Rock in the Riverdale Shopping Center next to Ace Hardware. Eat fresh, eat local, Eat My Catfish. You've got Drive Time Sports locked in on the Buzz Radio Network. Here is Randy Rainwater.
As Arkansas's community bank, First Security helps people make life better for themselves and for other Arkansans. They focus on helping make our communities stronger. Every dollar that stays in the community helps the community through things like new homes and businesses, so other people can have better lives. The financial professionals at First Security are big fans of Arkansas, and that's because they're Arkansas-owned and Arkansas-focused. They take care of communities just like they take care of customers. Check them out at fsbank.com and get ready to bank better at First Security. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, only in Arkansas. That's First Security Bank. Welcome back to Drive Time Sports here on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaeffer. I'm Randy Rainwater. Let's check in with Kenneth. Kenneth, good afternoon. Yes. Welcome to Drive Time Sports.
Yes, sir. I called in to let y'all know what a real hog call is. I've had
okay. All right, let's hear it.
And it's actually very similar to the Razorbacks call. And it's going to sound funny because it's on the phone, but this is how it goes. And something about that just makes the hogs come running.
So you don't say suey, you say ooey.
Nope. Ooey. It's that high pitch at the end that really makes them perk up their ears and come for you.
No kidding. Okay, yep. So ooey, ooey, ooey instead of suey, suey, suey.
Well, it's a little lower on the front end.
Right, okay. But it is ooey. Okay. All right, good. All right, well, thank you. So, and you've had experience with that?
Yes, I used to have a bunch of hogs.
And they came running when you said that?
Yeah, because that's usually when you feed them.
That's great. Do they stomp on log horns when you do that?
No.
Okay. It'd be good if they stomped on longhorns. That'd be good, right? Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for that.
You have a blessed day.
Okay, bless. Thank you, bless you too.
Thank you, Kenneth. You wanna practice that?
No.
Okay.
Not on the air. Good heavens! No, there you go. Wow.
That wasn't me. That was Damon. He came out of left field with that one. Okay. I gotta believe this is one Ginger Sandy.
Okay.
She says from the 870. She hasn't identified herself, but I kind of got a feeling that's who she's talking about. From our Southern Structural Solutions Buzz text line. Can your fans call in to give you charity suggestions for Mike's money? Kane and I would suggest the Tusk Fund.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
That's a good one, Ginger.
There you go. Okay.
Done. Settled.
Good idea. Okay. That'll be coming in December.
This from our Asher Wrecker Service Company live feed feedback. Robert says, I will bet anybody, $10,000 that this defense won't finish in the top 10 in the SEC in total defense. See, I think this is Neil. I think this is Neil for trying to get back at me. Because that's a top 10 in the SEC. $10,000.
Well, I don't have $10,000 to bet, but I think they'll finish in the top.
I tend to agree with you.
Yeah.
I just don't have $10,000.
Well, I don't either. Couldn't do that one.
No, I'm sorry, Robert.
But we're going to remember that at the end of the season and see if somebody could have collected on that.
Well, let me just go ahead and take a picture of that right there. Okay, get that. All right, that's going into my picture file. So, save the photos. There you go. Get a screenshot. This for ME. Well, ME, I'm glad you're. No, Mark wouldn't say that about Dr. Hill. I'm not going to say it either. Ryan says ME is missed. Okay.
Well, he is. We had him on it like 3 times in 2 weeks, and then he's disappeared again, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Emily says, Rick, there's hope. Rick, there's hope because there's only 2 more days of 0 weeks.
That's right. That's right. And I will tell you, I will not be here for one of them because Randy Rainwater is doing his first Sonic Blast Friday, his first Sonic Blast of the season, not his 0 Sonic Blast of the season. And he has been kind enough to let me go to Hot Springs because this is the Hot Springs baseball weekend. And they have a showing of fastball Friday night. And so I'm going to be there and I'm going to watch that Saturday starting at 10 o'clock. Now, I know they have a SABR meeting before that, and I'll consider that at 8:45. That's Society of American Baseball Research. Although those guys, if you think I know something, I'm in the first grade compared to those guys. It's ridiculous, the stuff they dig up. But nonetheless, I don't know if I've got them in the right order, but at 10 o'clock, it is Raleigh Fingers. At 11:15, it's Goose Gossage. At 1:30, it's Steve Carlton. And at 2:45, Wade Boggs. And I think it's either 4 or 4:30. It's all 4 of them. And they have sessions with each. It's at a convention center in Hot Springs. And I am greatly looking forward to going. And Randy, thank you for allowing me to be off Friday so I can go be there.
Well, you're welcome. We had to cancel the Sonic Blast.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah, we did. We had
No.
to. Yeah, we did.
What?
But that's okay.
You did?
Because I've still got a full show planned. Yeah, because of the heat.
You still got Barry, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Kevin.
Well, I would say the one place to beat the heat is with Sonic, right?
Well, we're not. If we were at the Sonic, I would agree with you, but we were going to be on location. Which,
okay. I see.
Which, oh, by the way, you were very close. 8:30 to 9:45. That's your SABR meeting. And then 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., there is a baseball card show in the Plaza lobby from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. That's Talking Baseball with Raleigh Fingers at the Horner Hall. Then from 11:15 to 12:15, the Goose is Loose. Same place, Horner Hall. Goose Gossage on the state of the game. Then 1:30 to 2:30, Rex Nelson talks pitching with Steve Carlton. That's in the Horner Hall. Then from 3 to 4 o'clock, it's Wade Boggs. Stories from the batter's box, Horner Hall. Then 4:30 to 5:30, Ask the Pros, featuring Goose Gossage, Wade Boggs, Steve Carlton, and Raleigh Fingers, all from Horner Hall. And all of this is at the Hot Springs Convention Center.
Now, I need to tell you that, people say, well, and it's free. So you come and you listen to all these things for free. I don't know about player accessibility. One of them I went to a couple years ago, Ferguson Jenkins was there. And my brother is a huge Cub fan. I mean, a huge Cub fan. Although he's really kind of a skinny guy, but he loves the Cubs. And so I hardly ever ask for autographs. That's not me. I'm not into autographs. I've had some people that have given me some things that are autographs, some Cal Ripken autographs, a Stan Musial ball autograph. I'm happy to have a Jack Buck ball autographed, but and I've got a Frank and Brooks Robinson ball autographed. But I asked Ferguson Jenkins for the autograph, and he gave it. And so, and there was kind of a line, and he signed several things. I don't know if that's going to be done or if those guys are going to have a session for that. But hey, if you just come and listen to them, it is absolutely great because they tell stories. We were talking about Quinn Grovey was talking about being a storyteller, and I still love stories of things that happened in Razorback athletics when I was there and didn't know them all. And I can talk to people that I didn't know the story about Jack Crow and the administrator until earlier this week. So listen to these guys tell stories. These are Hall of Fame baseball players. Is just fascinating.
Let's talk with Jake. Jake, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon from Iowa.
Iowa. All right.
Yeah.
Good for
heading
you.
up to Iowa and then heading over to Omaha, man. You know me, I get around.
Yes, you do. You're a beach boy.
Hey, Robert. I'll take that bet. You're going to regret because I'm the best there's ever been.
Which bet is that? The $10,000 one?
I'll take it.
Do you think Arkansas will be in the top 10?
I absolutely believe they'll be in the top half. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, Randy, it's your. You got to get Jake and the other guy hooked up here, I guess.
Let's make it realistic, though.
Okay.
Something underneath $100, but I'll take it.
Yeah, 10,000. That's a lot at stake there, right?
I mean, come on, make it realistic. But I'll take the. Well, like Charlie Daniels said, man, I'll take that bet you're going to regret because I'm the best there's ever been. And I'm telling you right now, Arkansas is going to be in the top half of the SEC in defense.
I think so, too. I really do.
So,
and to say this.
So does that mean since there's 14 teams, that means 6?
At least 7.
Better. 7th or better. That's half.
7th or better. Okay.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
7th or better.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think they'll be right in that range. And we know there are some really good defensive teams in the SEC, but it's an offensive league. And so I agree. I think they'll be in the top 7. And we've seen them there before.
Well, I was just, I heard him call. I heard you guys read that off, and I thought it, of course, a great Charlie Daniels song. And
yes.
I said, man, I'll take that bet. You're going to regret because I'm the best there's ever been. I'm
Yeah.
not the best there's ever been, by the way. But, I will, and it might be a sin, but I'll put up to $100 on it that we're in the top half.
Okay, well, Randy,
Whatever
maybe you can
of
connect
his
those two.
choice, or
Maybe this guy only
or
bets
whatever,
10,000. I
However
don't
he
know.
wants to do it.
Okay.
I ain't got 10 grand, man. I'm driving
Yeah.
a truck for a living and retired.
I hear you, buddy. I hear you.
Ain't
How
like
about
that.
a fiddle of gold against your soul?
Yeah, I got a fill of gold.
No, you don't want to do that either.
Yeah.
No matter how good you are,
I
you
ain't
don't want to
never
bet your
sold my
soul.
soul, man.
No.
Hey, enjoy the show as always, guys. Go Hogs. Love you guys.
Thank you,
All
Mike.
right,
Thank you, Jake. Okay. Randy asked Rick, is it a sit-down thing where you sit down and listen?
Yes, you're in a big auditorium. You sit down. They're up on a stage. Yes.
There you go.
And I think in the last session, they'll even you can ask questions yourself.
Sports will wrap it up in just one moment. Stay tuned.
It's time for the 2023 Central Arkansas Tailgate Extravaganza at War Memorial Stadium. Friday, September 1st from 5 till 10. Saturday from 11 till kickoff. Delectable cuisine, exquisite beverages, captivating melodies, and jubilant camaraderie. Tickets, tables, corporate packages available. To choose your experience, visit CentralArkansasTailgate.com. Central Arkansas Tailgate, brought to you by Globe Life and Tyson.
My partners had told me I should get my knee replaced. I was in my 40s, and I decided that I wouldn't do that.
That's orthopedic surgeon Dr. John Herzog, who found regenerative medicine years ago and became a believer.
It changed my life around. It improved me to a point where I was able to jog again.
That's when Dr. Herzog switched his focus from surgery to helping his patients with natural biologics.
I've treated at least 5,000 patients. I believe your body has everything it needs to heal itself.
Today, you'll find Dr. Herzog at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in this exciting field of medicine that can give lasting pain relief with no downtime, no drugs, and no surgery.
I have patients coming up to me that I did 10 years ago saying, Doc, my elbow's still working great. I'm playing tennis 3 days a week.
Call QC Kinetics now to explore alternative ways to deal with your pain. It's a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is Pat Bradley for River City Flooring, where you can pick your payment. Get 0% interest for 12, 24, or 36 months. And River City Flooring in Maumelle is where you'll save 50% on all in-stock waterproof LVP flooring. And did you know River City Flooring carries cabinets? So stop in and let my friends at River City Flooring help you with your remodel. Kitchen, bath, living, dining, they do it all. Check out River City Flooring in Maumelle at their huge new showroom on Maumelle Boulevard just off 430.
Now back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish Studios. Eat My Catfish, now back open in Little Rock in the Riverdale Shopping Center next to Ace Hardware. Eat fresh, eat local, Eat My Catfish. You've got Drive Time Sports locked in on the Buzz Radio Network. Here is Randy Rainwater.
It's been a while since we mentioned this, and I regret that. I should have brought it up many times earlier, but, Tacos for Life not only is a great place to visit, they cater. And you're going to have a great time if they cater your meal. Now, they have catered as few as, we had 20 one night in our home. They did a great job of catering. That very day, they catered a group of 300. That's right, 300. So Tacos for Life is really your great venue for catering. Now they'll cater tacos, they'll bring quesadillas, they'll bring whatever meals that you're looking for. They put it together. They set up a taco bar in our house. It was just great. The service was outstanding. So if you're thinking about how you not only can help a cause, because for every meal sold, Tacos for Life contributes a meal to someone who's food insufficient, and they've contributed over 31 million meals. Well, you can not only get that great food in their restaurant, but you can cater. Football season's coming. Think about it. You can cater at Tacos for Life.
And that is Rick Schaeffer. I'm Randy Rainwater. This program note in the morning at the butcher shop here in Little Rock. It is steak and eggs, and it is benefiting 100% for Youth Home. 6 o'clock until 10 o'clock. David, Roger, I am going to make food is food, and I want to take advantage of it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm
How
going
about
to
that?
take advantage of it.
And
And
Rainwater.
yeah, and be there in the morning at the butcher shop. So if you can make it out tomorrow, please do yourself. Now they say around 9 o'clock is when the food starts running out. So you may want to get there.
It's on until 10. So what do you do the
Yeah.
last hour?
I guess David
'Cause you-
and Roger be cleaning plates. I don't know.
Because you pretty well eat the whole time food's brought to you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And are they going to do most of the talking? So you'll be there, but you can.
Well, I'm not on the air.
Unlike our show. Yeah, you'll be on the air some, but unlike our show, you can leave for a while.
I don't
Right.
I don't know that I'll be on the air. I'm just going to be there. I want
Okay.
I want to
Right.
support Youth Home and
Right.
And get a great meal at the same time.
Okay. Well, that's good.
So just wanted to remind other people,
I think it's really cool that you're going to them instead of asking them to come to you.
part of our 13 listeners, to maybe show up tomorrow. And
13
Prob-
originals. Hey,
Probably
that's just like the colonies. We got 13 originals, right? Do you know? You remember who they all are? Quinn Grovey's ready to do a documentary. Do you remember who the 13 originals are?
I know Joe. I know Benny. Motorhead. A couple of names are escaping me right now.
But the key is, we hope they're all still alive because this is 33 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So we hope that they are.
Yeah. I hope.
And then you got to find them. Now, obviously, on our show, we could just ask for
Now,
them.
Rex was one of the original, and we've lost him.
Okay.
His cousin, I think, was Bobby Thigpen. It was Rex Thigpen. Rex was something else.
Wasn't Bobby Thigpen a really good relief pitcher?
Yeah, he was.
The White Sox.
White Sox. Yep.
Yeah.
I think he also played Mississippi State.
Yeah, he did.
All right, from our Asher Record Service Company live in feedback, Tyler says our pass defense couldn't win 7-on-7 last year. Who will be the number 2 corner this year?
Number 2 corner. Well,
Jaheim Singletary now.
He's going to be a starter. He's a starter, and
I would think
starter.
I would think opposite. I guess I'm thinking of that being the number 2.
As being the opposite McLaughlin.
Right.
Yeah, those two guys are going to start. Ladarius Bishop's going to be probably a number 2 guy.
Yep.
And normally you'd think of him as being a starter, but he's not.
And I guess I need to talk into the microphone, don't I? And they have moved so many around nickel and so forth. This is the secondary that they had out there today. Actually, this was yesterday. Snacks Johnson at nickel or hog. Jaden Johnson, safety. Al Walcott, safety. Dwight McLaughlin, corner. Jaheim Singletary, corner. Second defense. Corner. Keon Stewart. Day Bishop. Nickel. Jalen Lewis. Safety, Hudson Clark, Malik Chavis.
Yeah.
Chavis.
To say there again, we're talking about is the secondary going to be better? Clark and Chavis were starters last year. They're not.
Chavis wasn't.
Well, yeah, he was because people got hurt, so they had to play him.
Mm.
He wasn't at the first of the year, but he was during the year because other guys were hurt. Oh my gosh, Randy, are you sitting down?
Yeah.
They're only in the 3rd inning. The Yankees have already scored 6 runs, and Aaron Judge has hit 2 home runs.
Thank goodness he's still alive. Man, that offense has been rolling lately.
No, they've been horrible lately.
Yeah, they've been horrible lately. Yes, that was an understatement. Okay. Or maybe it was an overstatement. This from our Asher Record Service Company live in feedback. Adam says, when does the high school football scoreboard show start? This Friday night.
It's the first one of the year.
This Friday night. It is the first scoreboard show of the year. And where will you broadcast from this Friday? 2400 Cottondale Lane, Little Rock, Arkansas, 72202. Right here in the studio. As mentioned, we do not have a Sonic Blast this
Too hot,
Friday.
huh? Is the broadcast of the game still going?
Tomorrow, that will be Saturday night. That is the Salt Bowl.
Saturday night. Okay.
Salt Bowl.
Okay.
And out of wisdom for us old timers is the reason why they didn't want to subject us old guys to the heat. And I appreciated that. Let's see. Travis says this 2023/2014 is going to go down as the greatest team in the history of all sports. I will bet my neighbor's left hand that this will surpass the achievements of the first Olympics in Greece. Documentaries will be made about this team.
You listen, Quinn?
From
He
Travis.
does documentaries.
From Travis.
Oh, Travis and Navy Mike can go have lunch together. Won't that be fun?
I didn't finish this from Emily. We got sidetracked.
Oh, sorry.
She said, Randy, I love that man. Talking about you, Rick. When he gets fired up because he sounds so cute.
Oh my gosh. Good grief. Only my wife has ever said that looking at me in person.
Underdog Jay says, I will keep up with every stat from here on for the Hawks in the SEC just to see Navy Mike lose. And I hate that he takes up time in my head. LOL.
He's in your head, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
All right, Robert. He had to respond to you, Jake. Jake can't even spell $10,000. Keep on driving, guy.
Probably not. Well, look, there are a lot of us that couldn't bet $10,000 even if we thought it was the surest thing ever. It's a lot of money.
And then Robert says, Jake, I'm not wasting my time on a $100 bet. Okay. That's all right, Robert. Don't worry about it. This from Drew from our Southern Structural Solutions Buzz text line. Rick, if free, how they get paid? Ask Mr. Rick. He might know if you have time.
Okay, I don't know the answer to that. This is an event put on by the Hot Springs Chamber of Commerce. Every Chamber of Commerce has promotion dollars that they can use. So I'm going to assume that's how it's done. I'm guessing there's an occasional person that will donate time. I think Hall of Famers probably don't. They're probably paid to come. I can tell you if they sign autographs, then you know they're going to be paid to come. Anyway, but it's a Hot Springs Chamber of Commerce event, and they do an absolutely fabulous job.
That is it. Woo, woo. I'm Rick Schaeffer. I'm Randy Rainwater. Buzz Animal Cruelty, spay and neuter your pet for the Buzz Radio Network. Have a great rest of the night. So long, everybody.
Breaking news, information, big name guests, entertainment, and sports.